Hello. It is July 16th, 2019, and today's episode is an absolute heater. We cover sports, a lot of sports talk on this show, a lot of life talk on this show, and then we dive balls deep into conspiracy theories, which one of my favorite things on earth. And we have a replay of an interview from Heartland Radio last week at the end of this thing from Joey Jaws Chestnut, the world's greatest eater. And this interview may or may not have caused quite an international incident with old Kobayashi.
Love it.
I do love it, actually.
I do.
You're going to want to hear all of this. I'm telling you, when I say gold is about to spew into your ear holes, it's about to happen. You don't have to listen to this show. You choose to listen to this show. Will you get dumber from listening to the show? Possibly. But will this be a couple-hour mental vacation you're about to embark on? Absolutely. And we're so thankful you're doing it. A lot of big news ahead for our boys. A lot of big news for you about the team. We're so excited you joined us. And right around the corner, you know what season it is? Foosball season. Sports are hot right now. We talk about it all here in a little bit, but foosball season's right around the corner. And it is the perfect time to buy tickets for a football game as a gift to a loved one, a friend, a significant other, or maybe get a live event ticket. Maybe it's a theater show, which is also a play, right? Those two are the same?
Yeah.
Comedy, stand-up comedy, maybe a musical act. And if you're going to buy tickets, there's only one ticket platform to buy from, and that's our friends at SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the greatest ticket buying platform because they scan all the other ticket buying sites and make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck. The best ticket available for the best price available is going to come to you from your friends at SeatGeek. And right now, you use promo code PAT, you get $10 off your first order. Wow.
That's a deal.
Use promo code McAfee, you get $20 off.
That's a better deal.
Whoa. Little self-awareness here. If you're not rich yet, go ahead and use that McAfee and get $20 off your first order. If you got a little cash, a little jangalang and a bangalang, go ahead and use promo code PAT and get $10 off your first order. SeatGeek is our presenting sponsor, which means they paid the most to be right up here in the front. They're our first ever sponsor, and they're also the greatest ticket buying platform app on planet Earth and the moon. So there's no reason to shop for tickets anywhere else. Your friends at SeatGeek got you. Promo code PAT, $10 off your first order. Promo code McAfee, $20 off your first order. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this thing started. I always forget that tennis is a sport until something incredible happens. Serena lost. That was something that reminded me tennis was a sport, that Wimbledon was happening. And then Roger Federer is still that dude.
Oh, yeah.
I woke up Sunday morning in Philadelphia, ready to go to Extreme Rules. I turned on my television from ESPN the night before, and voila, Roger Federer is still doing what he's been doing for 20-some years. 1998, that dude turned pro. He was 14 or something like that. Still the man playing against old Djokovic. And in the fourth set, I saw a moment where Djokovic yelled at somebody for slipping on the turf. Federer wanted to score the next 45 points straight. And I was like, Djokovic's mind is in the fucking dumpster. Kid can't handle playing against Roger Federer. Little did I know, that match was nowhere near over. That match went on for another 3 hours after that thing. Crazy. I went over to the arena, filmed a couple things, watched on my phone. Still happening. Longest Wimbledon final of all time. And while I'm watching it on my phone, there's things happening all around me. I found myself so intrigued to watch it. I forget how good of a sport tennis is until I get to watch very, very fucking good tennis. And I'm like, man, I love that sport. I think that would be a sport I'd enjoy doing on a daily basis too. And there's a clip that Foxy found, and I think Roger Federer is going to take this back.
Do you train really hard in the off season? Can you give me any tips, anything you can talk about?
Oh, it's all talent. That don't work. I just sit on the couch. You thought you had something going, right? That you were one of those, like with Lendl, that made us generation work hard. Not with me, anyway. I didn't get inspired. No. All I do is really just take care of the kids.
If he trains just a little bit, he probably wins. You can't expect to win the longest Wimbledon final in the history of Wimbledon finals at the age of 37 and not train. But man, they put on a hell of a show. Hell of a show out there. I loved it.
He is. He's not supposed to be this good at this age, right?
No, because tennis is one of the sports where
you age very quickly.
Yes, very, very quickly.
Yes.
Well, your joints, right? I would assume it has to be hard on the joints because it's very explosive. It's quick. There's a lot of hard. There's a lot of
cutting. Is everything.
Yeah,
yes.
And I'm watching Federer at 37 as a person who has had joint issues in my life, and I'm watching him in between what are those volleys, sets, whatever it is. I'm watching him just walk around normally, and I'm like looking at each one of his joints. I'm like, there has to be a little something from like his ankle. Like, there has to be something like a little limp maybe from the knee. Like just one step comes up, and it's like, nope, he's fucking clean. And then I look at Djokovic, and I'm like, man, something has to be wrong with this guy. He just did a full split after running full speed 3 hours into this thing. He gets up, he's bouncing. I don't know how they stay so fit, these dudes. The fitness levels of the tennis players is something that I think I underestimate the shit out of it. I think the world needs to talk about it a little bit more. That's a 5-hour fucking match. Those two are just sprinting back and forth. They're running gassers. Those dudes are running gassers for 5 hours while playing life-size ping pong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's insanity to me.
It's a very athletic sport.
Incredible.
And, it's easy. Like, it's one of those sports that used to get made fun of. Like, I did it in high school.
Yeah.
People made fun of you if you played tennis.
You played tennis in high school?
Yeah.
I did
All
too.
4 years.
Nerd.
I
I'm joking.
But that's how it was treated. Like, me and I talked my best friend into quit. He was our best running back, and I talked him into quitting football that year to be my doubles partner because I didn't want to play number one singles anymore. So
That's a terrible guy and a nerd.
but we had a good time. But it's very athletic, man.
It is.
And you talk about quickness. There's so much power involved, and it's
Finesse, too. I mean, you got to have finesse.
yes,
Fast
Power,
backhand.
touch.
consistency.
It's
It's one of those things that's so hard to appreciate until you try and play it.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, this is impossible.
I played in one tennis tournament. I won in my entire life. Nick was a part of that. Nick was a participant in that tournament.
Yeah, you were a professional athlete.
I still had never played tennis. They were playing every weekend. I come home for a weekend playing the tournament. I win. No big deal. Yeah, I had no backhand though. I played lefty and righty. I was just tossing the racket back and forth.
You save room.
Yep.
Yeah, I do that in
Cover
ping.
more sp-
By the way, I do that in ping pong too. Like if you play me in ping pong, know that my left forehand also good. So I have two forehands. It's a tough thing.
How's it the switch over? Just quick?
Yeah, you got to have some dexterity. You got to know that the ball's going over there and just get it over there. And then I got this little half-cock left-hand forehand that is pretty solid. Now, my backhand, let's not get crazy, but if I can get that thing over for another forehand, I will do it 10 times out of 10. And it is awesome to watch the reaction of the other people whenever I do it the first time. They're like, what the fuck? Which forehand are we serving this to? And I'm like, that's up for you to decide. But with tennis, it was hard to keep the serves in. So I think that is the first. They're hitting those 117, 113 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Smart at tennis, by the way, to put the miles per hour right there in the corner of the TV. Smart to do that. That is something that baseball started doing. It makes it much more impressive and everything like that.
Sponsored by Rolex as well, right?
But
Yes.
yeah, that's a very wealthy sport. That's a sport we should think about getting into. Like, I would like to cover tennis, I think. I think I'd be a pretty good tennis coverer.
Well, it's fun to watch too.
fun.
That's the most underrated part on TV. It's a very fun. game
I have
to
a
watch.
question.
We got
with that
lucky.
backhand.
We got lucky too because we probably have the three best tennis players of all time have played in our generation.
True.
With Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic. So we got lucky watching it. I can't even imagine what it was like before.
Right.
With the wooden rackets.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude. Bjorn Borg?
Bro,
Bjorn
Agassi,
Borg and McEnroe.
Yeah,
Agassi.
Agassi might have
Jimmy Connor.
Pete Sampras.
Pete
BB
might
King.
Pete might be able
Oh,
to hold his own.
McAvoy. Is that his name?
McEnroe.
McEnroe.
McAvoy's tin cup?
Yeah.
Him too, bro.
Yeah.
I like tennis.
I love that they get mad at the line judges.
Yeah,
too.
how
Like,
does the
they're
replay
fired
system
up.
work?
It's
They-
best
I think
replay
it's-
system
You
in
can
all
challenge
sports.
now, too.
Yeah.
With that whole court, right? With all the money, they got a queen sitting there. I mean, they got actual prince and princess sitting front row, and let alone all the other money in that sport. Rolex sponsorship. I guess they just have the whole floor censored.
Yeah, they do.
Smart.
They just throw up their hands. It takes literally 13 seconds, and then they're on to the next fucking.
I like though on the replay how it's computer generated graphic of the ball hitting the line. I'm like, what if he did that in football and you had like a cartoon player showing him that he stepped out?
There was a lot of
bounds? It's
tweets. There was a lot of tweets about how tennis has every single millimeter of the court covered with
Sensors
a review.
everywhere,
The NFL has two old guys running fucking chains down. $1 billion operation got chains running down. It's a great tweet. It wasn't mine. That was a good tweet. If I remembered who it was, I would give him credit. But I love tennis, man. I love that match. I really did. And then Sunday night after Extreme Rules, I watched Dodgers Boston.
Oh, yeah. Good game.
That was late night.
Yeah,
they were
good
in
game.
12th inning or something like
Yeah.
that. 12th, whatchamacallit, 12-12 is what the thing went to. And then it went into the 12th inning of that Dodgers-Red Sox game. I'm like, hey, sports aren't bad right now. Everybody says this is a dead time in sports. I disagree. Kawhi Leonard just walking off red carpets, telling everybody to eat shit. Anthony Davis can't get to number 23 because of a LeBron Nike thing. Is that?
Yeah. Thank you, number 3.
That happened to Ocho Cinco a couple years ago. Remember when he wanted to change his name? from Johnson to Ocho Cinco, he would have had to buy up all the jerseys that were already made.
right.
Yeah, in the inventory. Yeah.
From who?
Nike. I think it was Nike at the time. Whoever was doing the jerseys for
That's
the NFL
on
at the time.
you. Yeah. Why is that on Ocho Cinco?
I agree,
Yeah,
but that's the way they do
That's
it.
a risk you took when you pre-printed that many jerseys.
Hey, DTG that thing, bro.
Yeah.
Like small businesses
that
have to do.
business.
Yeah, we got to pay a little bit more per shirt because we don't want to take the risk.
We don't want the inventory.
Because what if Diggs changed his fucking name to Diggs with a Z all of a sudden? We got to change the whole shirt. Ain't that right, Diggs?
It's not what happened.
It did happen.
But yeah, I guess there's a deadline. I think it was March 15th that you have to register by and say, this is what I'm wearing for the upcoming year. So they can get their manufacturers
so
ready.
Anthony Davis is or not getting 23?
He's
No,
number
not.
3.
Hilarious.
Elementary school days, he said. Taking it back to elementary school days where he's still fucking probably 7 foot tall.
Chi-Town?
He's in Chicago?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Good for him.
born and raised.
He's not doing the USA FIBA thing. He wants to focus on the Lakers' quest for a championship.
Good for him.
Smart.
Or he just didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
I think it's in China too.
And a great PR spin is, I just want to focus on championship.
Yeah.
He waived his $4 million bonus, too.
Yep.
At the beginning, they said he wouldn't do it, and then he did waive it. That's awesome. I'm excited for sports, man. We're doing pretty good right now.
Not bad.
We are doing pretty good at conversating. I'd say whenever we get in a room and start talking to each other about things, the things that come out of each other's mouths is normally pretty good. And we're just heating up.
Just heating up.
Speaking of heating up, a company that's been on the rise since the very beginning, a thing that captivated the earth whenever they launched, Dollar Shave Club. You know those times when every day feels the same, like you're on autopilot, like you're a captain of a pilot plane and you just click the button and it flies itself? No longer will that happen to you. How you're so caught up in your routine that you forget to take care of yourself? Well, Dollar Shave Club makes it easy to take care of yourself when that happens. Their quality products help me look, feel, and smell my best. Zito, you know anything about that?
Oh, yeah.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. What's going on here, guys?
You tell us, bro.
I don't know.
I feel like you do 1 and 2 there, but that third one just kind of slips through the cracks over there at the Zito residence
Sometimes I forget, but I get back to it.
because Dollar Shave Club has your back. I get everything I need from Dollar Shave Club without even stepping foot out of my house. Is that not incredible? I've been a Dollar Shave Club member for 3 years now.
Pretty long time.
It has been a pretty long time. And what they do is they ship everything right to your house that you need in the bathroom. It's not just shaving products anymore, although their executive razor is incredible.
It's it's the best.
It is the best. It's got a nice weighty feel. Their Dr. Carver shave butter is see-through, so you can line yourself up in an incredible fashion. But they also have toothpaste. How about that? And that toothpaste, by the way, can get sent to your house without you even having to reschedule it. Dollar Shave Club is scheduling your toothpaste so your mouth is nice. Zito, we should think about it.
Thank you.
Definitely not a compliment. And as amazing as their shave stuff is, which we just talked about, Dollar Shave Club is more than just razors. They have body wash as well. How about some shampoo, the best shampoo? Dollar Shave Club has everything you need for the bathroom. And right now, you can get a Dollar Shave Club starter set for just $5. That's almost $0.
What?
Comes with everything you need for a great shave, the executive razor, shave butter, and face cleanser. You're going to love it as much as I do. Get your starter set for just $5 at dollarshaveclub.com/America. That's dollarshaveclub.com/America. Go ahead and look, feel, and smell your absolute best with your friends at Dollar Shave Club. dollarshaveclub.com/America, which is where your show is being broadcasted from today. Let's get back to that. We got some big news coming up, too.
Do we?
Big news. Pretty excited. All this flying around and meeting with people and shaking hands and hopefully putting out pretty average content for you beautiful people to listen is about to pay off. I think we're about to hit this swell is going to be a busy one. A very, very busy one.
I can't wait.
But I think it's going to be electric.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm honestly not going to be able to do much other than work for the entire fall thing, though. It's going to be an electric fall, though.
Best time of the year to work.
True. It is.
By far.
What else is there to do? Honestly.
Nothing.
Pumpkin lattes.
Cook chili.
Oh, yeah. Tailgate.
Big chili cooker.
But
Yeah.
when you're traveling, you can buy chili, I hear.
Oh, traveling? We're
Places.
traveling a lot?
Yeah, just
Are we traveling a lot?
throwing that
Todd?
out there.
Oh, Todd. Todd with a little sneak peek. Little sneak peek. I'm pretty excited about our future in here, and I'm very proud of you guys, man. I mean, we've put in a
proud
lot
of
of
you,
work.
bro.
Proud of you, boss.
No, but also, I mean, we've put in a lot of work in here. It's not easy working here. I think that is something a lot of people don't see is I mean, honestly, whenever you have a boss who wants to buy an island that is like $50 million, it is going to be tough to just take it the easy way through things. I mean, it's going to be very difficult.
What did you say today? All right, I'm seeing a whiteboard on wheels.
Hilarious.
Do we have one of those? Let's go with it. We need one of those now. Get one of those now. Let's wheel it out here.
And we didn't have one.
Got one now, though.
Turned out we did Prime Day.
Comes in Thursday.
But I'm very thankful for you guys. And the listeners, I can't thank you enough. God damn. I don't know why you guys listen to us. Honestly. I mean, we have the dumbest collection of brains in probably. Hey, listen, I don't know what we know more about. Space or the ocean. But I do know we have the dumbest collection of brains in both of them. If
Agreed.
True.
where we are at.
Yeah, well, you can't spell dumbest without best, so.
Great quote. Long time. Ty just went and marked that. That's a great quote. And I'm very thankful for you guys, honestly.
Thankful for you.
And I'm thankful for the listeners, and I'm thankful for this life I'm living because I'm having a lot of fun with it. I mean, that Extreme Rules, I had a blast in there. I took a kendo stick to the back.
That was awesome.
Yo,
I took a kendo stick to the back from Matt Hardy, who's a WWE legend, by the way, because of the bully Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
he's a bully.
He's a bully.
The more I learn about that operation, the more I learn about each character involved. He is a bully.
Don't be a bully, be a star, is a WWE quote. And Baron Corbin refuses to listen.
I wouldn't want to take that to the back. If we're being honest here, I wouldn't want that to happen.
But what are you
to
going to do? What are you going to do when the camera's on?
How's it feel now?
I got quite a bruise back there.
He did not hold back.
What a
either.
mark.
Quite a bruise.
Good looking welt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
There it is.
For those that are on YouTube, just got a little shot of that thing. We are less than 24 hours later. That's what's happening. I'm sure it's only going to get worse.
And that one was different than what they were using
You look
in
like
the
a
match. You said you thought it might have been cooked up a little bit.
I think he walked in
juiced.
He walked in with that orange
A
kendo.
juiced kendo stick.
I've been watching WWE, WWF a long time. I've never seen an orange kendo stick used in the ring, out of the ring, anywhere in that world. He walks in with that orange kendo stick and just is like flipping, and I'm like, well, what the hell are you doing in here? And he goes, you always wanted to be a sports entertainer. Baron, you were not on the bill to be a part of this. You were not on the bill to be a part of this. Baron and I were very close whenever he played on the Colts, like very close. We played golf together. He was at my house for a little bit. I mean, we are very close, he and I, back in the day. And we always talked about how if this all fails, we're going to follow our real passion, which is being sports entertainers. Wrestlers, we said, but kayfabe, sports entertainers. He bounced around, went to the Cardinals. I think he went somewhere else, and then he went straight to the Performance Center to follow his thing. And it was fun watching his entire growth because we literally talked about it when we were in the showers, like two naked dudes, him much larger than me. Hey, man, it would be cool to be a wrestler one day. And we're sitting in like an NFL locker room. Like, yeah, it would be. It would be very cool. I got very lucky that the cannon on my hip lasted as long as it did in the NFL. I made a great living. Now I get to do this because I say stupid things on the internet. And he's done an incredible job with his growth in the WWE from NXT all the way up. Now he's fucking main eventing pay-per-views, which is just so cool to watch as a friend. But when he walked in that watch-along, he was not on the billing to be in that watch-along. Him holding that kendo stick, I knew wasn't good. Maybe not for everybody in the room, but I knew that kendo stick was specifically for me. I was looking at that thing. I'm like, well, what's he doing there? Is he going to hang it in the background? Like, is this did he bring a decoration for the set? This guy's a good guy, old friend of mine, not bad guy.
Maybe a gift.
But what I forgot was Baron Corbin's a bully. He's a bad guy. That's what he is. Baron Corbin is a bad guy.
I mean, he bullied one of the biggest legends in the whole operation.
Matt Hardy is still suffering from PTSD for having to hit me that hard with a kendo stick.
Damn shame.
Because Baron Corbin bullied him into hitting me on the live watch along, leaving a welt on my back that I am going to feel. Couldn't shower with warm water this morning. Couldn't sleep on my back last night. Don't worry about it. Matt Hardy is going to have flashbacks to that for the rest of his life, having to do that to me right there in front of the Philly Pretzel Factory in Fink's Hoagies. He hit the shit out of me, man.
Took it like a champ, though. Took it like a champ.
He took a full swing.
So in my head, as I'm bending over, And Ali's like, tuck your head, bro. Ali, very nice guy, by the way. Came in with a Red Solo Cup. I think he had a Red Bull in it. He was ready to go, that guy. The last time he came on and watch along, it was right after a match, and he was dead tired. And he left. And I was like, Ali's kind of like a low-key guy, chill guy. He kind of doesn't have a lot of energy. I don't care if he ever comes back. Like, in my head, right? I'm like, Ali, he's a motivational guy. I watch him cut promos. He was a Chicago officer of the law. Like, I'm a big fan of his character as a wrestler. But then when he came into that watch along, he was like, you could tell he wanted to get out of there. He just got out of a massive moment at WrestleMania or Fastlane too. So I should have accounted for that, but I'm not smart enough to. So then whenever he came in this one, he had all this energy. I was like, I fucking love this Ali guy. I want everybody I love this Ali.
He was great.
Great.
Yeah.
Energy. He stole a hat from us. Funny. He was great. And he started screaming at me like, tuck your head, dude. Put your head down. Always put your head down. I'm like, oh, that's a good call. And then when I put my head down, I'm like, I should no-sell this thing, which means in the wrestling world, no-sell means whenever you get like punched in the face, you just act as if it didn't happen. Ultimate Warrior used to do it all the time. Hulk Hogan used to do it all the time. You just act as if nothing happened. Other wrestlers hate you for it. But for me, I thought it'd be a legendary moment just to no-sell that thing right there on live on the stream. Because I knew it was going to be good internet, by the way. As soon as I was told to lift my shirt up and bend over, and there is a WWE...
That's always good internet.
Yeah, always. The internet is ripe for that moment. I was like, this is going to be seen by some... I know this is going to be seen by some people immediately as soon as it starts happening. So I bend over, and I was like, I could look like a gangster and just no-sell this thing. And before I could even get that thought through my head, Hardy did a countdown. It was the quickest countdown of all time. It was either countdown or count up. It was either 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3. It was one or the other. I don't remember. But I remember him not saying the last number and just whack. And I felt the shriek pain through my back, down my spine, through my butthole, right through my heel. And I was like, we're not no-selling that thing. I dropped right down to a knee. In the watch-along, the purpose of the watch-along is for people to watch the pay-per-view with us watching it. Aleister Black had just won his comeback match on a pay-per-view, and the only thing I could think of saying was like, congrats to Aleister Black. Because I wanted to congratulate him. NXT guy, I was happy for him. But man, it was hard to breathe there for a while, boys. That was hard to breathe. I think vertebrae 11 and 12 got potentially busted out there.
What hurt more, the sting or the impact?
The sting. It was the sting because it caught my arm. This was the really painful part, was the arm, because it's like the end of a roller coaster. When you're in the last car, it's like supposed to be like the whippy one. The arm caught the tail end of it. It just whack. I mean, the arm was sore, but the sting of the back. I've always been a guy, I don't like back slaps.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody does, by the way.
I
don't think anybody does. I've never been a big fan of the back slaps.
Well, yeah, don't fucking touch me.
Well, aside from that, I don't mind the kinship. You know, if you want to give me a little back slap and say, hey, good job, I'm all about an attaboy. But I don't like the slaps. And then when that thing hit me, it was just like, it felt as if it was the hardest slap I've ever got in my back. And I was like, oh boy, hold it together. Hold it together.
That's like when I was 16, we used to wrestle, Elias and I, on the trampoline in the backyard. We did the whole backyard wrestling thing. And we would take tiki torches and step on them and crack them and make them into our own homemade kendo sticks. And I got hit in the head with one of those one time, and I was concussed.
Corey Graves told me I should have fed my head.
No.
He said you should have fed your forehead. It wouldn't have hurt as bad. I'm like, Corey Graves, you're literally commentator now because you had concussion issues.
Yeah.
That is why you were doing it.
I took one clean shot that, and it was instant concussion. I was like, oh, this don't feel right.
So you know the post of a hockey goal? Yeah. Like the hard plastic ones that are, I took one of those right to the ribs as a kid in my first trampoline match. I cried as a kid. I was like 12 years old, hit me with that thing. Whoa. And I had flashbacks to that whenever that thing hit me in the back. I just would like it to be known. I think I took it okay.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't squeal. That was the one thing. I was like, there's a lot of mics around. Don't squeal. Don't squeal. And when Jeff Jarrett came in, cool dude, by the way.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Everybody that comes in there seems to be awesome. And I don't know if they're putting on a front for the camera. I don't care because that's all I know them as is the people that come in and watch. Everybody's so nice over there, man. WWE is so nice to me.
Great people.
It's not supposed to be either. I mean, granted, they almost kicked me off a show. There's a high tension moments there. But they're all so nice to me over there. I wonder what the future holds with WWE. I honestly do. Everything else in my future is kind of clearing up right now. Everything is kind of, the question marks are kind of disappearing. Like, hey, this is what you're going to be doing. But the WWE one, there's just one giant question mark. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with WWE. Everything's always like, we should talk about this at some point. We should talk about this.
Well, that's the one. There's so many avenues to go within that company.
Yeah.
It's so many. I mean,
it's like they're still learning with you because you just keep gaining favor with the fans.
I'm getting momentum in that company. I really feel like
you know
I
what?
am.
You know what you are to them? You're like the kid who's coming out of high school. They don't know their position, so
Right.
you're just listed as an athlete.
ATH.
Yep.
You're versatile.
ATH.
5-star ATH.
We got a utility kid in here. Probably 4-star, not 5-star. If I was a 5-star ATH, they would have done something with me. But it is very interesting because I feel like I have pretty good relationships with people that make some decisions in there. Not the ultimate decision, but I feel like Mr. H and I have a pretty good relationship, right? And I feel like Michael Cole and I have a pretty good relationship. And Pelagato, who runs their digital, we have a pretty good relationship. And I think it's all just kind of like they have so many talented human beings over there, though. If you look at that watch along, those are all people that aren't being used in the show.
That's what I was also winning favor with the locker room that quickly because I feel like that would be almost a little bit harder because you come in and you're
it's an earn your stripes thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. And Nikki Tweets, I talked to Nikki Tweets a little bit, and the first thing he did, because I missed the last watch along because we were doing our comedy tour. And Foxy wasn't with me this time. They were like, he was like, "Where's Foxy?" I was like, "Foxy's editing the comedy tour, and he's got a lot of shit going on." So I gave him like the weekend off or whatever. And he was like, "Oh yeah, how'd the comedy tour go? I completely forgot about it." I was like, "Good." He was like, "Are you selling that special?" I was like, "I think so." Yeah. He's like, "You going to Netflix, man?" I was like, "Nikki, that'd be great." Nikki, Netflix would be awesome. He was like, "Well, do it. Why don't you do it?" I was like, "Well, in the comedy world, just like in the wrestling world, like you kind of got to earn your stripes." Like I feel like there's a big like you got to earn your stripes type thing. I never did the open mics and I never did the feature and I never did the road warrior type stuff. And I completely understand the fact why some comedy scouts or comedy people look down upon me. They're like, this guy didn't take the long road. This guy hasn't perfected his craft, hasn't done that. And those people are ultimately the people that are making the decisions at Netflix and HBO and Showtime and Comedy Central. All these people are making the decisions. So whenever they're told like, hey, this guy who's a former punter who does a podcast now has his second comedy special coming out. He's only been on the stage less than 30 times. It's kind of a scary thing for these people. When I would just argue, like, hey, just watch the fucking clips.
Yeah, watch it.
Hey, just watch the clips, bro. Yeah. But it's hard to do that. So that's why we just sell everything we do, by the way, is just fuck them. We'll do it ourselves. And that
seems to be working out.
Todd was asked to write a title if I was to write a book about my life, what it would be. And it's something that stuck with me forever. Todd said that if there was a book written about me, the title should be "Fuck 'em, I'll do it myself." And that's exactly what the comedy special is.
Spot on.
We're filming it, we're editing it right now, and then we're just going to sell that thing.
I'll tell you what's the most unique comedy special you'll ever see.
That's a great way to describe it.
I swear.
Is
too.
that great to describe? I don't know if that's good.
There's nothing like it.
Yeah,
Just because
I
all the
think that's
different
good.
acts we have, like it's very unique.
I'm pretty excited. The sets did well with the crowds.
Yes.
Because I've never, so unlike other comedians, where I think, by the way, I think this is a gift and a curse. Other comedians, they get to go around and practice their set and trim it up and kind of see what works and what doesn't work and kind of get the kinks out. For me, my first time telling those stories on the stage was literally Pittsburgh in front of a couple thousand people. So I have in my head, I'm like, these are funny stories. In my head, I'm like, I think they'll laugh at this point. I think they'll laugh at this point. And then when you get on stage, you start talking and they start laughing at a point. You're like, oh, I didn't expect them to laugh at this. Well, I got to take a little break here then. All right. How do we get back into the story now? Okay, let's do it. And it's kind of I've always said that stand-up comedy to me is such a fun mental obstacle course for me because I get into these holes that I got to get myself out of. It's like, all right, where the fuck are you going from here? Because sometimes I have no clue where I'm going. I have no clue what people are going to like. I have no clue what they're not going to like. I have no idea what I should dig deeper on. I have no idea what I should get through this a little quicker because, I thought they were going to like this more than they're liking it. They're not liking it that much. Okay, we got to go next. For me, it's like a mental obstacle course up there.
Yeah, it really is.
And all I want is the people up there just to fucking have the night of their life. And I feel like I've succeeded every single time I've won on stage. That's all I try to do is just have people have a good time.
100%. And this isn't like something where you're just going to watch someone on stage walking back and forth telling jokes. Like literally, we have special guests.
Yes.
We have a Q&A. We have your jokes. Like there's so many different elements. So that's why I say it's unique.
Well, and it's 2019 right now. So getting somebody just to sit there and watch, like I love a lot of the comedians that get stand-up specials. And I try to watch them, and then I'm like 15 minutes in, and I'm like, all right, I'm about to pass out right now.
Yes.
Because we live in a world where everything is just, especially comedy, because Twitter's funny, Instagram's funny, IG stories are funny, videos that are 4 minutes long are funny. There's so much funny in the world to just watch somebody stand there for an hour and be funny. It's like, yeah, I agree. You are an incredibly talented person, but I need like a little bit of I need an optic. I need to keep this thing optically pleasing. I need to see
That's
something.
why people are going to enjoy the special
I think so.
extra, because it's for consuming online.
Yes.
I mean, that's a thing, and people have been saying this for a long time. Tom Griswold told me this one time, and some other people, like other comedian Bobby Kelly said it when he called in. Like, stand-up comedy is really meant to be viewed live.
Yes.
I mean, it's not meant to be viewed on TV or online. It doesn't feel the same because you can't feel what the audience is feeling. But how you put it together, it is a TV show that features
stand-up comedy. Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
It's like Seinfeld, you know?
Yeah.
I'm joking. It's nothing like that. But it is a pretty cool thing. I had a lot of fun on that tour, though. I think we had a lot of fun.
It was a blast.
It was awesome.
And the crowds were incredible. And it is a true story that there's nothing like being in the audience, because there could be something happening in the audience that you don't even know that is really changing the entire thing, or the environment. It's this hot, it's this cold, this type of thing's happening. You know, there's just so much to feeling alive.
Yes.
Well, plus, like when you go to a show like that and you sit in the audience, you're committing to that for the next hour. You're not looking at your phone. You're not looking at your computer. You're not talking to your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever it is. It's just you and the entertainer just focused.
Yeah, so
you can't do that at home.
So a potential callback that you might have missed is something that you were, whenever you did a scroll or something on your phone, you missed a setup to something. There's just I think it's a whole new world. I love stand-up comedy. I very much enjoy doing it, but I never call myself a stand-up comedian because I'm not a road warrior out there. I don't do the whole stand-up comedian thing.
No, yeah, I mean, you're a stand-up comedian. You have to,
I get up there and tell stories.
You're definitely a storyteller, but that's what comedy is now, pretty much. I mean, you look at Bert Kreischer, all the Bill Burr, like all the people that really crush
Kevin
it.
Hart.
They're telling stories.
He sells stadiums out.
Yes.
So at the
Large
Philadelphia
ones.
Eagles Stadium.
Yeah.
Twice, I think.
And the traditional model's dying. I mean, you no longer want to put all your eggs in one basket, I don't think.
One particular network
You still
told
can.
particular network told me that they could see how I could potentially be funny. Whenever they were talking about filming this special, potentially CA set me up on this call, and I hung up on them.
As you should have.
Yeah, we could potentially see how you could be funny. I said, "Oh yeah, that's awesome. Okay, I got somewhere I got to be." Just hung up. So then the CAA agent had to call me afterwards and was like, "The potentially could be funny line." I was like, "Yep." They're like, "Say no more." I was like, "Yeah, fuck them." But I'm excited for people to see it. It's also why we haven't posted the interviews from Shazier, Pac-Man, and Maurice Claret. It's because it's going to be a part of that. We'll release it all at some point, but we got to put together this thing because I think it could be something special. I think it could be cool.
Agreed.
And our fall is going to be awesome. One member that was on that tour is no longer with us. And it was something that rattled all of us, but we're happy for him. Mr. Jeffrey Gorman has decided to move on to greener pastures. He said he wants to find something that's more for him. He didn't really feel as if this internet life was mostly for him. The guy has done everything in this world. He's self-described gypsy. He moves along. He literally does everything. And I think he's at the point of his life where he wants to find his forever home. And he said he didn't think this was it. We are so very thankful and grateful for what he's done for us. The Lou Holtz impersonation is something I'll remember forever. Whenever he got on the microphone, he was very funny. He's a friend of all of ours still, but we wish him nothing but luck in whatever he decides to do. I'm excited for him. And he literally walked out the other day.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, it was a wild scene. I wasn't even here because I was literally getting back in town from business. The boys told me, "Hey, have you heard from Gorman yet?" I said, "No, what happened?" And they said, "Well, he said he had to step out for a second and then he just never came back." And then I got an email saying that it would be too hard to do. He just wants to go find his thing. He's grateful. He's thankful. He just wants to go find his forever home. And I said, "Hey, man, good luck with everything." Because it was an interesting thing. He blocked almost everybody on Twitter. The internet was a whole new world for him. It literally was as if like the gold rushers were trying to get to California and they were just like finding something new. And it was just, for him, the internet was a whole new place. And I think he enjoyed it. But
Did not appreciate the mom jokes.
I mean, Nick is potentially the reason why this happened. No, I'm joking.
Probably 50%.
No, but I was very lucky that Gorman was at the Colts whenever he was there when I was there. We were very lucky that Gorman came here. I'm happy he went on tour with us, but I'm excited to see what he does next. And I'll be pulling for him.
I'm sure he's going to do great things.
I'll be pulling for him. But he said this wasn't the right fit for him, which, okay, man. You know, he was interesting though. He never talked to us much off the mic, right? He like saved everything for on the microphone. And we live in this business where we're around each other a lot. Ideas here are worth more than anything else. I'm a big idea guy. I enjoy. That's why I have dry erase boards everywhere. It's like I want to see things. I want to hear things. Let's chat, open dialogue. And he was almost always kind of very to himself, doing research. And then when the microphones would come on, he would come do it. And I wonder if I should have been a little bit more like, hey, come join us in this conversation. Maybe we'd feel more. But I do believe the internet in and of itself kind of scares him, and it's not the place he wants to live forever. I don't know. I'm pulling for him, though. And also, Boston Connor is dealing with personal things still. We've said this on numerous occasions. Some people haven't heard it. Boston Connor is not a guy who quit or got fired. He's a guy who's dealing with personal things right now in Boston. We also miss Connor, by the way, just for future reference. Everybody says, well, I miss Boston Connor. We miss Boston Connor as well. I'm eager and excited for his return to our office. He just has some things that he has to deal with, honestly. That is something that is very personal with him. If I dive deeper into that, I feel like I'd be doing him a disservice and doing everybody else a disservice. I'll let him tell his story whenever he comes back. We're excited for him to do that. And this fall is going to be incredible. That's
Can't
all.
wait.
Well said.
That is. I'm excited for it, you know? That really is. We're going to miss Gorman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to miss Gorman. We have missed Connor. But we're excited for our future. We got massive things coming. And I think Gorman probably does too, if I had to guess.
Yeah, sure. He'll be fine.
He's a guy who is full speed ahead all times. I'm excited to see what he does. So if you could send an @Hey Gorman a little thanks and say, hey, man, thanks for everything you do. We appreciate you. Thanks for the laughs and good luck in everything you do. And Boston Connor can also take your well wishes, I believe. He's not in jail. A lot of people have asked if he's in jail. He's not in jail. He did not get in trouble. There's just some personal stuff going on.
Yeah.
And
well, sometimes life happens, man.
that is true.
Yeah.
And we live in this world, though, where our listeners are family. We're friends. We literally are a team in this whole thing. That's why I call everybody a team. So I appreciate everybody's concerns about him, because if I went missing, I would hope that people would do the same thing. I would hope.
I think they would.
I would hope.
Yeah.
By the way, I found that island, $46 million.
That's it.
46 mil. Well, let's get to work, boys.
Are we going to name the island Obtainable?
Because it's unobtainable. Hey. We just did a fist bump. I'm going to disappear one day. Just know that. My mom was staying at my brother's house in the front of my property this weekend because my brother and his girlfriend are socialites, and they go out every day. It's incredible. Jay's living his best life. I'm so happy for him. Honestly, I am. If you were seeing this guy in Pittsburgh versus this guy in Indianapolis, it's just
night and day.
He's had a complete rebirth. He came out of the cave like Jesus when he came to Indianapolis. I'm so happy for him.
Got a new haircut?
New haircut, new everything, new life, new friends, new everything. His friends in Pittsburgh, he's still friends with. But they lived a very different life than his friends out here live. I mean, his friends out here go out, I feel like every single night. Jay is potentially out every single night. This weekend, he went on a trip with his girlfriend. It was her birthday. They were celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday to her. And my mom stayed at the house to watch his pet lion and cat that he has. He has a pit bull that's north of 150 pounds.
6'3".
Hailing from yeah, he's a monster animal. And I was pulling out, and my mom was pulling in. I was like, oh, I don't know, you're staying here, you know. I was pulling out of the house, and she goes, yeah, I gotta watch the animals or whatever, the kid, the grand pups or whatever my mom calls it. And she goes, you need to stop saying you're gonna die young. And I was like, Mom, it's going to happen. I mean, we all know it's going to happen. You watched what I did to myself. I mean, it's just, I got no shot. And she's like, but as your mother, I don't like hearing that. I was like, well, Mom, how about this? If I fake my death and disappear, I'll let you know. Wow. She goes, well, that's very nice of you. I got you, Mom. Just like Avicii. Just like Avicii. That in the letter that Avicii's parents wrote. Read it and think he's alive while reading it. They're like, oh, he's at peace now.
Yeah, Sally wouldn't let that slip either.
Sally?
Yeah.
She would take it to the grave.
Yeah.
Sally would take it to the grave. She is, I told her I was going to Philadelphia. She read off about 5 storylines, headlines, and bad things happening. Sally hates everybody and everything. Anybody could get it if Sally McAfee's around. Anybody. But if she loves you, she loves you. But boy, if you're on the wrong side of Sally McAfee, you're never getting back. Sounds familiar. I would like it to be known. I don't know where this is falling in the podcast. I don't know what Ty's doing it. Maybe right off of Jump Street. Brian Baldinger.
Yep.
Of Baldy's Breakdowns. He's this guy. Is that his? Is that his name?
Just,
It's Baldinger,
Yeah,
but
just
just
say
the
it
way
faster.
the way you separate.
I don't know his name. I follow him. He's good. He does good videos on the internet. He breaks down offensive line play, which I don't know a lot about, so I watch it to learn. He stated in a video on the Twitter, #Baldy's Breakdown, that Laramie Tunsil is the best young left tackle in the game, potentially going to be the greatest of all time. Laramie Tunsil, if you do recall, was the tackle from Ole Miss that I told Chuck Pagano on draft night had the greatest lungs I've ever seen in my entire life because a video was leaked of him hitting a gas mask, one that I had hit in the past, and didn't cough one cough after hitting that thing. His stock was dropping with the quickness everywhere. Everybody's like, oh, can't draft Laramie Tunsil. He's a red flag. I was on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Chuck, those lungs on that guy hitting that gas mask and not coughing one time, he might be in better shape than Lance Armstrong. Michael Phelps, Lance Armstrong, Laramie Tunsil. And now it's coming to be true. Maybe I am a football scout. Maybe I should get in the front office of things.
I think you could be easily.
Yeah, good scout. It's the little things that I notice. It's the little things that I pick for when I'm betting games. Oh, this guy looks like he's going to be in a good mood. Oh, this guy hates this team because last year his girlfriend, he's going to dominate. Normally it comes to fruition, by the way.
The real intangibles.
Yeah.
I do, yeah. You can measure a 40.
Yeah.
You know? You can measure the size of somebody's hands,
Anybody can look at stats.
but you can't measure spite, bro.
No.
Hell no.
Cannot measure spite. But you can measure lungs when you see a guy hit a gas mask and not cough. That was insanity.
That's gonna be part of the combine next year.
All right, sit in this room. Do you know how to put this together? That's the first test. No? Okay, good. He's not a massive pothead. We're now going to put this steamroller onto the front of this Air Force gas mask here. We're going to light this, cover the end. You're going to inhale, just breathe, and then it's going to fill the mask up. Let's see how you take it. That's normally what happens.
Well, he had 4 coughs on his Laramie Tunsil, so we know we got some work to do there.
On his Laramie Tunsil. Wonderlick. Tunsil 40-yard dash. The new NFL Combine. Before we move into this next topic, I have an announcement to make. As summer sizzles, do you feel like you're cooking in your clothes? If you can't handle the heat, you need new underwear. And Tommy John has the perfect solution. Tommy John's innovative cool cotton underwear for men and women is a summer must-have. It's like your own on-body air conditioner. Tommy John's cool cotton fabric features breathable, lightweight fibers that keep you 2 to 3 times cooler and dry, 4 to 5 times faster than regular-ass cotton. Their men's underwear features a contour pouch to keep you neat and nestled. Plus, their quick draw fly for rapid deployment saves you 217 minutes of unnecessary fumbling per year.
Wow.
Stats, numbers, time saved.
Wow.
Tommy John. Tommy John men's and women's underwear sport a no wedgie guarantee. Say hello to your new friend nerds. All their underwear comes in a range of styles and fabrics that are suited to your entire summer wardrobe. The legs never ride up, the waistbands never roll down, and their unique design ensures there's no pinching or bunching ever. Tommy John is so sure you're going to love the fit and feel that it's all backed by their best pair you'll ever wear or its free guarantee. That means if you don't love your first pair, you'll get a full refund from Tommy John. No adjustment needed. Hurry to TommyJohn.com/Pat now to get 20% off your first order. That's TommyJohn.com/Pat for 20% off. TommyJohn.com/Pat. I wish I wore them Sunday night at Extreme Rules in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You're going to hear about that. I forgot to pack them. I had to buy underwear at the place I was at, and you saw me sweating. Everybody saw me sweating. I had Tommy John on, 2 to 3 times cooler, 4 to 5 times faster. And that's what Tommy John does. And they keep you nestled like a real champion.
Real nice.
Tommy John underwear is the best. You should get on board. TommyJohn.com/Pat for 20% off. Now, let us blow your mind with this next topic. You know who I know was a good guy? Bob Ross.
Yeah.
His paintings, by the way, have been found. They're still not for sale, but they've been found.
Really?
I'm thinking, just like in that Dana White, Robbie Fox interview, when I get wealthy enough, Those Bob Ross paintings are going to have a home.
Oh, a whole room.
Right above my office. This is the first fucking happy tree that was ever. You see this right here? It wasn't an accident. It was just a happy mistake. You turned it into a fucking owl. Look at this. That's what I think my art's going to be. Because I think what happens, you get very wealthy.
Sure.
And then you get into art.
Yep.
Yeah, you have
1000%.
to, I think.
Because you have to dump your money into something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And for me, it'll be Bob Ross paintings. And I don't think there's any better art to buy than that.
Well, it's a great investment, right? You're not going to lose money in the art.
It
doesn't
really is.
depreciate.
Well, the only thing that could make it depreciate is if something terrible comes out about Bob Ross.
Not happening.
And I'm banking
boy.
on the fact that
no
Bob
way.
Ross beat the devil out of those brushers, but nothing in his real life. And that's what I'm banking on. I can't wait to be a Bob Ross art collector.
Are they expensive?
That would be
Bob
awesome.
Ross's?
Not for sale.
What?
Yeah, right now they're currently not for sale. There's an article last week that came out that a lot of the Bob Ross paintings have been found, and they are not for sale.
Was there like a heist?
I don't know. I think they were maybe family had them or something. Like I think something happened. Maybe production. I don't know. It was just an article that got tweeted to me from somebody.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey, big news! You're on the Bob Ross, the best American painter of all time, probably in the world, but American for sure." Bob Ross paintings have been found. Early Bob Ross paintings have been found. Still not for sale. Was the basically the gist of the entire article. And I just would like to think that I'm gonna make enough money that they will be for sale.
Second question. Is he alive?
No. Rest in peace, Bob Ross.
Tragic.
So those paintings are just going to get upped in value
Yeah,
year
but
after
a
year.
lot of people that die, though. I mean, I'm thinking Bob Ross never did anything, right? He seems like the nicest soul, and him and Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. It's not coming out.
I feel like we would have known by now.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
I think we would have found something out by now.
Thomas Edison, did he do anything bad?
I'm pretty sure. He's
light.
bad.
He was generally considered to be a prick.
Yeah.
But we still use lights, right?
Yeah, we do.
It seems like it's only convenient whenever somebody does something terrible that we decide to ban everything.
Yeah,
that they
there's
did.
a fine line there on how great whatever they came up with was versus what they did. Yeah,
He's a fucking terrible guy, but love power. You know what I mean?
that's always like I always had this dilemma like what if Hitler was the one that created Reese cups? I'd be like, I'm
Man.
not supposed to eat Reese cups.
By the way, I think we put Reese cups down. Now, electricity.
Yeah,
that would be a tough
definitely.
pill to fucking swallow. Every time you flip the switch, you're like, gotta do it though.
You think the Amish had beef with him?
The Amish are holding out because of how bad of a person
Yeah.
Benjamin Franklin was. That's what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
You're 100% right. Nobody talks about that. The Amish are holding out against the people that created electricity. Good for them. Bad for them.
They finally forgive him.
Sailboats also. Big time holding out against
Oh, yeah.
electricity.
Ben Franklin, there was a lot of bodies discovered in his basement.
Oh,
Are you
I
being
forgot about
serious?
that,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some questions
Cadavers.
there.
Cadavers.
A lot of people
We-
say
no,
he
they
just,
weren't saying they were
he-
cadavers.
He
They
were-
studied
that's what-
anatomy. Some people theorize.
So the story goes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, couldn't have fucking, what's his face said that? The dude, the terrible guy. Found skulls in his house.
Yeah, because
Baron Corbin?
Hey,
Dahmer. That's who you're
Dahmer. Not Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin, bad guy. Tom Pestock, good dude. Baron Corbin. Okay, bro. But Dahmer had a bunch of, couldn't he have just went with the cadaver thing?
Yeah, especially if he would have done it that long ago,
Yeah,
because
right.
there'd be such a gap in information release.
No records on,
Yeah.
oh, this person went missing. Oh.
Right. When you disappeared, then you were just gone.
Todd theorized that, Ben wasn't going to go out there and hold the key himself in a fucking lightning storm. So
He said,
about 15 other people had to get fucking struck by lightning before electricity was found.
A lot of
Everyone
fried
down.
bodies in the basement. Imagine just standing on top of the hill. Now that we know what we know, imagine just standing on top of the hill with metal just right above your head, like trying to get struck. And I played college with a guy named Boo McLeay, Kevin Boo McLeay.
Yeah.
The legend is that he was struck by lightning twice.
With the
buy
name
a lotto
Boo,
ticket?
normally you are.
He was an incredible football player. Did some things off the field, not exactly morally accepted. I think he sold some drugs and stuff, but
that happens.
allegedly got struck by lightning twice.
Wow.
He was an electric football player. I'm the worst. The absolute worst. Speaking of conspiracy theories, went ahead and went in on Bob Lazar. You name it.
Incredible.
This guy, if you haven't seen the documentary on Netflix, go ahead and just fast forward to the end of the show. There's about to be some spoilers. Nick told me right to my face, because I watched Unacknowledged a year ago. And I said, hey, everybody needs to watch this Unacknowledged. It was a lot of the Brits that were high up in the Navy and stuff like that saying, oh, we have this documented UFO sighting. We have this alien thing, this, and this. And I watched it, and I came in here, and I was like, yo, Unacknowledged completely flipped the script on me. I'm 100% in on aliens. I'm 100% out on Bigfoot, by the way.
What happened?
Yeah, that
Why
happened.
is that?
I was sitting on the runway in Philadelphia, and we landed early, 20 minutes early.
Oh, nice.
Okay, pilot gave us an announcement. We have arrived 20 minutes early. But since we were 20 minutes early, there was no jetway for us to get to.
The worst.
So we sat there, and then our jetway that was supposed to open up, the plane that left had a maintenance problem, had to go back. So we were just sitting there for like 40, 45 minutes. So we're actually 25 minutes late in the grand scheme of things. Should have just showed up on time, Mr. Pilot. Neither here nor there. And I got to thinking. I was just sitting there with my thoughts. Front row, no big deal, first class. Had a lot of room with the legs, spread the legs
Nice.
out. And for some reason, it just hit me to start thinking about the Bigfoot. And by the time we got to the jetway, I took a step onto the jetway, and I said, yep, I'm officially over Bigfoot. I'm all the way out. I went hunting in the hills of Georgia for Bigfoot with a deaf guy in Confederate Steve. He had Confederate flags all over him. My dad told me that if I died, it was my fault. I went to the woods with a guy with Confederate flags all over him. And I went Bigfoot hunting with a deaf guy, which 90% of Bigfoot hunting, by the way, is audio. So it was a bad decision. We did not find Bigfoot that night, but I was a believer. I have a Bigfoot sculpture at my house.
You do?
Yeah.
But I felt like since I gained so much alien conspiracy push
Aliens are hot right now.
that I don't
So
even
what?
I don't even think it's a conspiracy anymore, brother. I don't even think aliens are a conspiracy. We'll get to it. I think my conspiracy limit was maxed out with the aliens, that the Bigfoot one just got dropped off. And by the time I got off of that 45-minute wait, 25-minute late from our scheduled arrival, I walked off that plane and I said, I'm done with the Bigfoot. I sent a text to Sam, actually. I said, I'm out on Bigfoot. And she said, did you mean to send this text to me? I said, yeah, I just want to let you know I'm out on Bigfoot. And she goes, how the fuck did this happen? I'm like, well, I'm all in on the aliens. So when you're all in on something, you got to be all out on something else.
That's right.
And Sasquatch, old Bigfoot, old
Yeti.
Yeti, old
Abominable snowman.
old
Satchmo.
old
Harry and the Hendersons.
So that's where we stopped. I was wondering when we were going to make it. I'm all the way out on that now. And it was a good run. I had a good run with Bigfoot. I mean, it took me into places that I never thought I'd go. Into the hills with a guy. It was just, it shouldn't have been in the hills with. This guy was a recluse. He's been hunting Bigfoot for 25 years. He's only seen it a few times, which, yeah, did he? You know, it's just, I'm to the point where I'm out on it. But because of this Bob Lazar laser, is it Lazar? Or
Lazar.
Lazar.
Lazar,
This
but-
Bob Lazar
Cooler
documentary.
if it was laser.
Yeah, I would.
Bobby Laser, you kidding me?
Robert Laser, bro? Bob Lazar completely put me all in. Not that I wasn't, by the way. I'm a big alien guy to begin with. People ask me who I want to see, who I want to meet. Alien's always one of the first answers. My new first answer for human used to be Steve Jobs. Now it's Jesus, because I got some questions, want to clear some shit up. Because if I get those answers directly, I feel like I can solve the world's problems pretty quickly. You know what I mean? I think, like, hey, bro, people are saying a lot of things about you. I just need to know if they're true or not. Can you just tell me a couple things? You walk on water ever? No, I actually was it was a sand, what are those things?
Sandbar.
Sandbar.
It was a sandbar, actually. It looked as if he would
I was on a jet ski.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, no, by the way, not a problem. I just want, don't feel bad about this. How about this? Did you do this, this, and this? And if he goes, no, I go, thank you so much. This is going to clear up a lot of wars that are currently happening right now. A lot of tension happening. And a lot of people that are sitting at church getting powed and knocked unconscious. I think this will clear a lot of things up.
I feel like if you ask him questions, he's off the record kind of guy.
This would definitely be off the record with Jesus.
That's okay. Only one person needs to know.
Only need a selfie with him, though. So it legitimizes that I
Yeah.
talked to him at some point.
Agreed.
You'd
yes.
be a prophet.
But,
Yep.
oh,
Yep,
hey,
true.
that'd be pretty cool. I talked to Jesus.
Profits are pretty high up there in the ranking system.
When I get to write my own chapter in a book,
Yeah.
the sequel.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
if
I think you get to
you're,
write
if you're
your
an
own book.
apostle,
What?
and if you're one of the apostles, if he anointed you as an apostle, then you'd be able to.
He's the right answer, though, right?
Wait, working at Aeropostale? Is that what he said?
Yeah. Me and Jesus will work at Aeropostale. I'll become an apostle, and then I'll write a postal about people doing crazy stuff.
Makes sense that he would be involved with their
Apostle,
because
though.
the clothes are for very skinny people.
You would have a whole nother
Wardrobe.
section.
I'd be able to write my own book
It would
like
have- it'd be
John.
A.M. after the meeting, after Pat, after something now.
It'd be like Joseph Smith. I'd be able to write my own thing.
Yeah.
Right? It'd
Oh
be
yeah,
After
like a
Pat-
spinoff.
after meeting AMP.
Yes.
This would be a spinoff.
Remix.
Anyway, or he says, yeah, I did do all those things.
Yeah.
And then I'd come out swinging, by the way, from my guy. I just want to let everybody know that if I talk to Jesus Christ and he says, yeah, I did all these things, because nobody debates that he was a real person.
Right.
So whenever somebody says, if you could talk to anybody in history and you say, I'd like to talk to Jesus Christ, that's not like saying, because even the people that don't believe him are like, yeah, he was a real guy. He was just an average guy. He wasn't this crazy guy. And the people that believe him are like, yeah, he was this guy that did all these insane things. So you can say, whenever they say, if you could talk to one person, past or present, dead or alive, who would it be? You can say Jesus Christ, and that is an accurate answer.
Correct.
And that's who I'd like to talk to.
You just need the proof of legitimacy, because the church will try and discredit you if they don't like what
I'm
you've
saying.
said. Because there are other gospels that didn't make it into the big book because the church didn't agree.
Yeah.
So I don't know. All I know about is AMP after McAfee, after meeting.
So as long as you get that selfie, though, you're good.
Yeah, the selfie would legitimize everything. And by the way, it would be the only Bible with pictures. So
True.
I'd read that one.
Nice.
it's not a full picture book, though. It's just a picture. I'm sorry. It would be the only Bible with picture.
Yeah.
It'd be one picture. It'd be me and him. Probably a high angle one so he gets a good look on that beard.
The new cross
It's got a good
photo,
beard.
you're in there.
Maybe I'm holding him up. You know what I mean?
He's sitting on your shoulders.
Yeah, sitting on my shoulders doing the. But anyways, I would like to know. You know, I think that'd be a good thing to have, and I thought of that while sitting on the runway as well. I got asked that question,
right.
but then the alien thing happened. Then Bigfoot. My brain was just going because you're literally confined in a space. Yeah. The only baby on the plane was sitting right next to me. The only baby on the entire.
How does
plane.
that happen? And you're in first class.
Saw the baby in the loading area. Saw the baby. One baby. I saw the baby in the loading area. The baby was a big baby. It was stumbling. I don't know how old it is. Had a onesie on. It was stumbling around. Got on the plane though. Good baby. Very quiet. Mom slept there. It did shit on takeoff. It shit on takeoff. So I was a little bit of a shit box up there. But by the time we landed, the smell had been obsolete somehow. So I don't know how that. Very proud of that mom. Good baby. Happy for that baby.
That takeoff scared the shit out of him. Yep, see you later.
It was a baby girl, by the way. So, sexist Zito thinking babies can only be a guy. He's taking a hike. Happy National Take a Hike Day, like 4 days from now, 3 days from now.
Yep.
Zito's getting one in early. He'll be back. So, I was just cooking in this box, and I was all the way out on Bigfoot because I started thinking about Bob Lazar. The Bob Lazar story is such a fascinating one. He was originally Dennis on a newscast as the scientist who broke away from S4, which is a sublot of Area 51, and he said he was working on UFOs, working on this spacecraft, and his job was to reverse engineer basically this unidentified flying object from another worldly place. He said it was from another place. Welcome back, Cito. Great hike. He said it was from another place because we did not have the technology in 1989 or 1988 that this thing had. I mean, it had a reverse force field. It was doing all this crazy shit.
And he was tasked specifically with propulsion, right?
Yeah, propulsion because
they compartmentalized the parts of
in
the
his
aircraft.
entire life, he's been doing propulsion, right? He built like a Honda with a jet engine in it. I mean, he's done all this stuff. So he comes out and does this interview, and then he gets released from the job because of something that was happening in his personal life. He doesn't get asked back to go back. Then he comes out clean with this story because he thinks that the government is not only lying to people, they're lying to science, which he was a scientist. So he was like, scientists need to know that there isn't a technology out there that can create gravity, right? He comes out and do this. The government, and this is all allegedly, then decides that they're going to try to ruin every single thing of this guy's life, basically. This guy's entire history gets erased from working at this place called Los Alamos, I believe, which is a nuclear site or a nuclear plant or something like that, to him going to MIT, this whole thing. And you watch this documentary, and then I doubled down. I watched the entire Joe Rogan interview. So I spent 3.5 hours with this guy one night. I was up to like 2 a.m. late night with Bob Lazar. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if I should or not. I believe the guy. I believe Bob Lazar. I think what he was doing was real. He seems to be too on brand with every answer he gives that this was, and he didn't like keep the spotlight on him for all these years. He kind of disappeared for like 30 years. And then now he's coming back to tell the story because a guy named Jeremy wanted to tell the story. Guy with a beard. He and Rogan had a couple interesting moments. He tried to out Rogan whenever he got a little bit intoxicated. Tough to do, by the way. Rogan's got a very good brain. But I enjoyed the documentary. I enjoyed the whole thing. I'm all the way in on Bob Lazar, which means I'm all the way in on aliens. And it was hard to keep Bigfoot around. So Bigfoot's gone. Aliens are all the way in. And now everybody, 300,000 plus, are going to storm Area 51.
It's up to 600.
Oh yeah,
Bad
I thought it was
idea.
close to 1 million.
600,000 people are going to storm Area 51. First reaction was, send Nick into that group. First reaction was, going to get a flight for Nick, fly his ass out to Vegas, tell him to hop in that little caravan, get his little sword, and go fucking rally the troops and run right in. We need somebody on boots on the ground at this
Yes,
situation, is what I thought, my first thought. Then I thought, man, this is going to be awesome when this happens. I mean, how are they going to stop 600,000 people? And then I thought back to Bob Lazar. They're flying UFOs around.
They reverse engineered some shit.
They can knock out 600,000 people in no time.
They just send out a little shockwave. Everybody passes out.
Oh, we did a nuke test.
Yeah.
An accidental nuke test. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's what this is a government. This is our military.
Yeah.
We did an accidental. I think it's a terrible idea. I think it is a bad
Very bad
idea.
idea.
Bob Lazar has come out and said he thinks it's a bad idea. Joe Rogan, I think, has even come out and said, hey, I think it's a bad idea. This number is still growing. So, hey, there's some heroes that are going to storm those grounds out there. And you got to do what you got to do. But I do believe they should, just like those guys going into war, like I think there should be a good thought in the back of your mind, like, probably going to die out here in this desert. And you know what? I appreciate your service. I want to let you hipsters know I appreciate your service, and I wish I could join you, but I got an island I would like to buy in a few years. I can't be dying right now.
Here's the best part about it. Even if it is a massive joke, which we all know it is, and only, let's say, 20 people show up, when that many people sign a petition, the government has to prepare as if it's actually going to happen. They have to have people ready and mobilized in some fashion as if something is actually going to go down that
600,000 people is a large unit. That is a large army coming to storm the desert out there. Are they going to be smart enough to listen to the 12 strong guys? Are they going to come in from opposite directions?
No,
No
they're
way.
running with their arms behind their back.
Yeah.
You think they're going face first into
That's
this?
that's literally what it said. They said they're
anime running
running.
thing.
They're running with their arms behind their back because they think it makes
You send
them run
all the
faster.
Kyles in who are juiced up on the Monster Energies, they go first, and then everyone follows that way.
It's sponsored by Monster Energy now.
No, it's just that's what
what they
Kyles
do.
do.
That's not a bad idea. I mean,
People are
let's,
going to show up.
yes, 600,000 people signing up for this. Yes, there's going to
There's
be
gonna be at least a couple hundred.
10%. Let's say 10% show up. That's 60,000 people.
How many casualties do you think this is going to result in?
I think it's going to be 100% death rate. I think it is a 100% death rate.
They already posted. I don't know if it was like the Department of Defense or the Air Force or something, but they're like, we are very ready and willing to defend state secrets here. Like,
yes.
I mean, they're not,
Yeah, they said it's an army training area.
yeah, exactly. And I
So
think
there will
there's-
be armed soldiers.
Bro, Bob Lazar in the documentary said the last guy that had his job died because they tried to cut into the UFO and it blew up and it rattled so big that they had to release a statement saying that they had an unannounced nuclear test. And that was just them trying to cut into a UFO that killed the last guy that was there. And that's just like, what? You don't think they could just 100,000
Easily.
with their hands down?
I don't
These-
think they need to. Like, you just can't. There's metal doors. You can't get in Area 51. I think they could just fucking chill inside and pretend like nothing's
just
going
sit on top of the cargo roofs because they said everything is just kind of built in these hangars, right? So you
Right.
can't see anything from the sky because Google Images, you Area 51 Google Images, is just like a couple hangars here and a couple hangars there and nothing to see
It's all
here.
sub-level.
But bro, whenever Bob Lazar said he was there, he took his friends there for 3 weeks straight after he was like no longer being called back there because it was on Wednesday nights. He wanted his friend George, who's in the news, to legitimize his story a little bit. He's like, well, on Wednesday nights they test these things because there's nobody on the highway. So they went out there the first week, I guess. They saw something, but nobody saw him. Second week, same thing. Third week, he said they got a bit loud and they were like tailgating out there, and all of a sudden the night vision scope fell and they turned on the headlights and there was like 45 fucking military people just sitting there like, hey, well, you guys need to get the fuck out of here. Actually, they arrested them all, I think, and then they interrogated them and sent them all out of there. That was in 1989. Like, what do they think is going to happen 30 years later of fucking just lining up? And those people are all prepared for. They're not just clicking, yep, join group. You know what I mean? But I would like to say, if they get in there and learn some shit, hey, I appreciate what
That'd
you've
be
done.
awesome.
They also said that like the desert leading up to how you would get in there is filled with barricades and obstacles that are like covered in the dark. So I mean, good luck. Good luck,
Fucking
folks.
landmines and shit.
Yeah.
Nick, I would like you to know that and appreciate that my first thought was, got to send Nick in there.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Why
I
was
mean,
it Nick?
Just because Nick was the one that told me to watch the documentary. I feel like he was the most dialed into the whole thing, you know what I mean? But I think you should watch that documentary. It's very hard. The first 10 minutes is tough. You got to really get through. They had Mickey Rourke, I think, doing the
Yeah.
voiceover. It's kind of tough.
I didn't realize that I tried to watch that previously, and it was during that first 10 minutes of Mickey Rourke and that weird kind of thing that happens at the beginning.
Yeah, the little cutaways that they do and
Yeah.
stuff is awkward.
So you just kind of jump through there till you get to the Bob Lazar parts, and they're awesome.
And the Rogan interview, by the way, is just Rogan sitting there just peppering Lazar with all the questions that he has after watching the documentary. Very much worth it. But it seems as if this Lazar guy,
I totally believe it. For one, like you said, like he came out on this one and said, I wish I'd never come out and said anything to begin with. I don't make any money from this. It's done nothing but pretty much
ruin his life.
Cause negative things to happen to me.
Yeah.
And then, it's just, you can tell he's not a crazy person.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Unless he's like a pure stone cold sociopath, he speaks so matter of factly and confidently and calmly. It's like, it's very hard to say, oh, that guy's lying.
he had a migraine on Rogan, and like 35 minutes in, he like stumbled on an answer. He's like, I have this migraine. I was like, wait a minute.
Aliens.
Don't you fucking lie to me right now. Like, that was my first glimpse of him potentially like stumbling over his story. But then he hopped right back on the horse. And I was like, oh, okay. He's fighting through a migraine too, this guy.
Yeah.
His story is even working through a potential migraine, which I've heard is debilitating.
Right.
So, I mean, it was, I believe him. It's a whole new world though, knowing that aliens are real. That's awesome. That's really cool.
We've always known.
I have actually. I've been a very
Vocal proponent.
of aliens happening.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, it's too big out there.
Yeah, it only makes sense.
It's too big out there when you look up. And now I look at the sky in such a different way too after watching that thing. Whenever you're like matter of fact that there's something out there, it's hard not to just look up there and be like, I don't know where the fuck they are. Like, is that star right there a fucking just an alien hub? Like, because they said they're small. So, like, are they living in stars out there? Like, are they in stars up there? And they said, well, it came from some galactic system that's like 3 light years away. Or I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? I don't know what that means. Does that mean I can see it, or does that mean it's in it? They're like, no, it's through a black hole, through like another space. Which, by the way, there are still people on this Earth that we're living in that think we know more about fucking space than
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Hey, there's still people that think we know more about space. We're just learning now that there's occupants in there.
Yeah.
Like, just for matter of fact that there's occupants.
Like they brought up those 2 black holes that are going to meet, and they're like, well, they may have already met because what we're seeing is 2.5 billion light years away. So what we're seeing is the location of those 2 black holes 2.5 billion years ago. So 2.5 billion years from now, we'll know what happens when 2 black holes meet.
Yeah, you're actually seeing the past.
Because we have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's impressive, isn't it?
Even though they were like, we're ashamed to admit we have no idea what happens when 2 black holes meet.
Yeah.
Because we know nothing about
everything
black holes.
everybody says.
There's still a lot to learn.
Yeah.
About what?
Just like there's a lot to learn about the bottom of the ocean and what goes on down there, because we got no goddamn
Yes, I think there's
clue.
aliens down there too.
Definitely.
See,
Maybe. We don't know.
I don't.
Mermaids.
I don't think so. And the mermaid thing, I was on board with that, by the way. I was very much on board when that documentary came. Sorry, that movie came out about the mermaid thing. I was on. I was in. We interrupt this incredible conversation for a reading from Zito.
Thank you, Pat.
No problem, Zito.
Get as many massages, do as many stretches, and take many ice baths as you want.
I just feel as if the rhythm of this is already wrong.
I'm gonna start again here.
Take many as. Take many as you want. Take many as you want.
Get as many massages,
Oh,
do as many stretches,
yeah.
and take as many ice baths as you want. If you're not getting a good night's sleep, you're not recovering properly. Our friends at CBD MD, a trusted leader in the CBD industry,
Amen.
Amen to that, understand the importance of sleep, which is why they have a product specifically made for rest and relaxation that is perfectly complement to their full suite of other CBD products that offer long-lasting, high-quality relief throughout the day.
Oh, so what you do is you use their other products throughout the day. They have gummies, they have a rub, they have a lotion. Let the power of CBD kind of take over your life. And then at night, if you have sleeping problems like me, this company has actually changed my life. They have a CBD
PM,
which has melatonin in it and puts me right to sleep and makes my whole body feel better when I wake up.
you want me to tell you about it?
Yeah, tell me about it.
All right. Specially formulated
PM.
CBD MD PM, specially formulated tincture that combines melatonin and other sleep-promoting herbs with CBD, which can help your circadian rhythm. Get
You
back
should
on.
let him go with that. He said carcadin last night.
I was thinking about the insect.
Cicada.
That was the worst word I thought of.
Yeah, come on.
Circadium. Nope.
Yeah. You nailed it. One more again.
Circadian.
Well, one more maybe.
Circadian.
He literally just looked over at Nick like he was his dad.
Circadian rhythm.
There we go.
Get back on track. Allow you to get high quality sleep consistently. Take 30 minutes before bedtime. Whether you're recovering from a hard day or a long time or a tough workout, CBDMD is dedicated to keeping you at top of your game.
There's a word missed there.
Or a long time.
Or a tough workout, CBDMD is dedicated to keeping you at the top of your game.
No, go back to the beginning there.
Whether you're recovering from a hard day, a long night.
There it is.
So
What I
long
forgot,
time.
night?
So
Or a
long
long time.
Works the same thing.
Not really.
Tomatoes.
Okay.
Adding
Time and night are not like tomato.
day and night.
I keep on searching, can't read the line.
Adding tinctures, gummies, and CBD PM to your regular routine is the best way to sleep naturally. Wake refreshed and take advantage of all that CBDMD has to offer. Use promo code McAfee for 20% off.
Okay, we got a promo code.
Yeah.
There we go.
Boys, promo code McAfee, 20% off, cbdmd.com.
Yes.
Okay. Shout out to them for sticking around, by the way.
I love CBD-MD. Do you guys love it as well?
I love it. I take it 30 minutes before bedtime and wake up refreshed like I just had massage.
Ceridian. What is it again?
This show's about to get better.
Sarkeesian.
Sarkeesian?
Steve.
He's a coach. He had an alcohol problem, now he's back. He's a good coach.
CBDMD. You're going to use that.
He should be using it. Everybody should be using this. I got a couple tweets this weekend about people who've never used CBD. They're like, we heard about the CBDMD. Is it really that good? The CBDMD PM with melatonin in it puts me to bed. It's the only thing that really puts me to bed. I used to have an Advil PM issue. And by issue, it means I couldn't sleep without it. Now that I use the CBD, it puts me right to bed. And my dreams are lit, woke, alive. And we're back to the show. I feel like I'm a pretty open-minded person. If somebody can spin me a little bit of, just a little bit of hope that something's real, I'll be like, I'll fucking give it a go. Let me give it a go here for a minute. The mermaids thing got me while watching that movie, and then the last hand on the window. I fucking couldn't do it. That was whenever it ended. The end of that movie, they put a hand on a window like Titanic scene, and I was like, all right, well, that's fake. That was a shame. I was all the way in. I think I was even like maybe potentially tweeting about it, like, yo, fucking mermaids, let's go get them, bro.
Is there any comeback for Bigfoot?
I don't think so.
If he comes back being an alien?
Oh.
Well, so the guy that talked to me that I went into the woods with, he said that we didn't see him because somebody in our group didn't believe hard enough, like Santa Claus.
Jesus.
This guy may have.
That was the
ruined
deaf
it
guy
for you.
or the other guy?
Huh?
That was the deaf guy?
The other guy. No, yeah, it was the other guy. Yeah, Confederate Steve.
Seems like he didn't believe.
Confederate Steve, I went into his house in the middle of the woods, man. It was kind of a moment for me.
Yeah.
I really, that was whenever the NFL was testing me 8 times a month. So I had to find things to do sober, and I ended up in a guy with Confederate flags house in the middle of the woods in Georgia. I got drug tested 4:30 the next morning, by the way, by the NFL in a hotel in the middle of this fucking town. The guy who tests the Falcons had to drive all the way out there at 5 a.m. And whenever he got there, he said, "What did you do?" I was like, "Why?" He's like, "I've never been asked to test somebody this early in the morning in my entire career." He said he's done thousands of tests. He said he's never been asked to test somebody this early. I had to leave my house like 3:30, he said, to get here. I was like, I think it's because I'm moving a lot, because I was like doing ghost hunting in Florida.
Did you tell them what you were doing that weekend that maybe prompted them to, he's fucking doing what?
No, they didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
I was just moving a lot. So I was like, I went on like a tour. Like I went ghost hunting in Kissimmee, Florida, I believe. I think that's where it was. No,
How did you report, though?
No, I flew a plane in Kissimmee, Florida, where me and Mad Dog, which was the co-pilot, did a couple barrel rolls and did a stall out. I saved our lives because there was a bird right in front of us. And I said, what am I supposed to do if there's a bird in front of us? He said, where's the bird? Right in front of us. We had to, but there was a dual cockpit. I had the thing. I did the thing, barrel roll, did the thing, barrel roll.
Nice.
Even had the foot thing. I have a whole video of it. I mean, I vomited. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Basically, I'm a pilot.
Me too. I flew a plane.
Did you?
Yeah. When we went down to go meet Mason.
Did you barrel roll that thing?
No, I didn't get too crazy with it. I just kind of put my hands on the wheel, went left, went right. All right, I'm good.
I flew a, I think it was called a Mustang. It was a World War II plane.
Oh, P-51.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, and it might not have been a Mustang. It might have been the training one for the Mustang. So it was a dual. It was. I got pictures. Me and Mad Dog.
It's nice to meet another pilot.
It is nice to be amongst other captains. I was not the captain of that ship. Mad Dog was very worried too whenever he had heard that I had 0 hours of flying experience. Because it's in Kissimmee, Florida. You can look it up. It's like a bucket list thing where you can go fly these World War II planes and do like things. We had to pay a lot of money, but I did it. It was awesome. I get sick though. I mean, I would not do it again. But I did it, so let's knock it out. I did that, and then I went ghost hunting, and then I went to a croc farm in Louisiana. Then I went hogging and frogging in Louisiana. And then I went Bigfoot hunting in Georgia, and I did all these things like each day. And I would drive to the place. And when you're on that substance of abuse program, you had to call anytime you left where you were, give them an address you're at and 2 phone numbers to reach you at.
Really?
Every single time. It was like I had a PO, literally. So I would be like, all right, I'm in Lafayette, Louisiana. I'm at this guy Bubba's house. Here's the 2 phone numbers you can reach me at. And then like 6 a.m. the next morning, I was leaving to go to like Florida to go to something else. I'm like, okay, I'll be getting to this address at noon. This is the address you can meet me at. These are 2 phone numbers. And Dr. Brown, who's the head of the program, he must have been seeing my check-ins and be like, this fucking guy's trying to get around this test. So that guy showed up at 5:30 a.m., like before I could even leave Georgia. I got a phone call, and I slept through the first call. I got a voicemail. It was like, hi, this is blah, blah, blah from the game. I forget what it's called. It's called a company game something. No. It'll come to me. You have 4 hours to complete a substance of abuse test. And then like 30 minutes later, I got a call. It's like, hi, this is blah, blah, blah. I got 2 voicemails I woke up to from these missed calls. And I checked the voicemail. It was like 6:15 a.m. I'm like, holy fuck. I called this guy back. I'm like, where are you? He's like, I'm outside this Days Inn. I'm like, yeah, I'm inside, man. Come on in. Came into the shitty
Just
Days Inn.
contracted piss takers?
That's what they do, full time, yeah. There's one in each big city.
Yeah.
Not a bad job.
I mean, they just gotta look at dicks all day.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
And they do like they have to pour the piss into different things. I had the one guy at the Colts. He was the backup guy because the regular guy was out of town or something. He was so nervous he spilled my piss.
Come on.
It was unbelievable. He was shaking so hard he spilled my piss, and I only had like 45 more minutes to fill it back up because you got 4 hours or you fail. And I looked at the guy. I was like, are you going to write that down that you just spilled my fucking piss? And he was like, oh, I don't know how to do that. I was like, I'll go start bonging Petey. Jesus Christ. But a majority of the piss test guys, good guys, by the way. Terrible position.
Sure.
Good guys. But yeah, I was down there hunting fucking Bigfoot. Got tested like fuck. It was supposed to be 5:30 in the morning. It took at 6:15. Got 2 calls from the guy. It didn't find Bigfoot. But these aliens now.
I feel like the information on Bigfoot would have evolved with time. It's always the same information, whereas that's not the case with aliens. We keep getting better and more information.
This Lazar thing really flipped the game on its head. I guess they're only 2.5 feet tall. They're small. This particular, what's that?
You can punt them.
I don't know though, because I feel like they're much more advanced. They'll do something.
Try to control your mind and stuff.
Yeah. That'd be the worst.
Yeah. I feel like what they don't need bodies anymore because they're so making
advanced.
up for it in other ways.
They might have lasers in their fingers too.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's hard telling. I mean, they're more advanced than we are, so
Way more advanced.
Clearly.
if we only use like 10% of their brains or whatever we say.
In 1989,
It's a bunch of Bradley Coopers.
It's a bunch of limitless
Invincible, limitless. Not invincible. That's Mark Wahlberg. I was in his town. I was in his fucking neighborhood, I thought, the other day. It was tough. But he said that he didn't know how long they had that spaceship. He said they could have had that for 100 years or something like that. He said he had no idea how old that particular spaceship
That's
was.
true.
That he was working on.
And he said some things were just already figured out, so he couldn't explain why that works. It's just they'd already figured it out.
They already figured it
That's the
out.
way
He was just
Yeah.
brought in to figure
Right.
this out. This out just a little bit. He said that could have been around for fucking forever, really. He said it could have been archaic, and they found that thing. And it was so far advanced than us. Like, it was doing things that we could never do. He was talking about if humans could do what that thing did, it would change the entire world. It would change the economy. It would change time. It would change everything because it had this gravitational pull where it didn't really, they said anytime we move something, it's always pushing something. So there's an exhaust of some sort. There's a push, and then there's something coming out. With this particular spacecraft, it was a pull technique that was happening with gravity, and you couldn't touch it. And it was just like, he said, if humans could figure this out, it would change everything. It would absolutely change everything. And I'm starting to think, though, like Tesla, my Tesla, there's nothing that comes out of it. And the way that thing moves is as if there's no... I'm even more sold that Elon Musk is an alien. Like, even more sold that Elon Musk is an alien. And he's offering up flamethrowers for anybody that goes to Area 51.
Really?
I don't know. It might have been
Just weaponizing these guys.
Well, yeah, he wants his friends to be free.
Yeah, let me go get, you're going to get John Musk? You're going to get E. John. If I give you 2 flamethrowers, you get him. Haywood, E. John. Haywood Banks, who is a legendary comedy writer. She's the one I wanna. She's the one I love.
He has some great songs.
French Toast.
Yeah.
That's him. He has all these old songs.
Right,
He was
right.
Bob and Tom regular. Todd tweeted that if Area 51 is a real thing, he would like it to be displayed as an MTV Cribs episode with me hosting it.
Yes, it'd be perfect.
Which, by the way, I would love to do.
Yeah, man, you just walking through the tour. Yeah.
Right over here. Look, he's a little ugly fucker. What's up, dude? You guys don't do high fives? 4, sorry. I bet they don't have thumbs.
They don't need a
No. But Haywood Banks said, all I want to know is what happened to areas 1 through 50? Which was a hilarious. I was sitting on a plane. I started dying laughing. I'm like, that's good. How did they get to Area 51? It probably means something, I'd assume. 51 probably stands for something.
51 aliens.
The aliens probably killed everyone in the first 50. And then they finally figured it out.
So I watched an Ancient Aliens episode, and they did mention a case in the 70s where 2 UFOs, the creatures actually were on the loose in Mexico, and the government ended up covering it up as saying 2 dwarves were running wild in the city, which was an interesting case. But one of the sheriffs
Were they
in
dwarves,
the town,
though?
they were small. They were very small, like you mentioned, because one of the guys has an eyewitness report of seeing one of the sheriffs, and he touches it, and it shrieked at him, and then he died something like 3 weeks later of a series of diseases that had taken over his body. Yeah, infections.
So it's like the nuclear stuff in Chernobyl.
Potentially, yeah.
You touch one of these aliens, it's a Chernobyl effect. Put your gloves on.
There was another case where, again, in Mexico, it might have been the same case actually, where the craft had crashed and the military was trying to haul it away, but they were intercepted by CIA. A small group of CIA soldiers came down, and they basically handed it over to the CIA because 4 of the soldiers who had initially discovered the crash were dead on arrival when they came to the scene. And the cause was never determined, but they assume it was some type of bacterial poisoning.
Bro, so they spit like camels?
Oh, no.
Yeah, they sounds like these aliens spit. Don't catch any of the saliva. You catch alien saliva, fucking rest in peace, guys. Undertaker's coming through. If I've learned anything from these alien things,
Don't touch them.
Don't touch them.
No, you definitely don't want to do that.
I would like to talk to him, though. Maybe behind a glass wall, like White Boy Rick had to do with his dad there at the end of the movie. I watched that movie again, by the way. White Boy Rick.
You like it?
I do like the movie.
I love the story.
If he had his license plate was really Snowman, such a fucking aggressive decision.
You're just putting it on display at that point.
His license plate said Snowman, and he had a big ass chain on. He's the only white kid in the neighborhood. I mean, it's an aggressive decision.
Do a lot of drug dealers have vanity plates?
I don't know. He might have been the first of his kind, honestly. Todd, that's probably a question for Todd. Huh? Todd dealt in the meth world, which I don't think is the same as the coke world, but
Yeah. I didn't chase a lot of. I mean, coke people really aren't a problem per se. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really have to put out a lot of fires with coke flying around.
Was he bribing a lot of cops? I feel like that's an easy thing to do.
Rick?
Yeah.
He was an informant whenever he was a kid because he was an arms dealer.
Well, then there you go. He's probably protected. In
No,
some
he
areas.
wasn't though. So he was an arms dealer.
Okay.
Gets shot by his own gun by his friend. Comes into his house, shoots him in his stomach. He goes to the hospital. His dad says he wants to get out of the arms dealership because that's where his dad, Matthew McConaughey's dad, is the guy that kind of led him into this. He wants to open a movie chain or something like that. They open that, kind of says he's out of the game, and then boom, he's like, I want to get into the cocaine business. He had already stopped talking to the feds because he started talking to the feds when he was 14 or something like that. Like he was a 14-year-old arms trafficker in Detroit. It's a good story. He's still in jail. He gets out in 2020, I think, December 2020. He was served life in prison though.
First interview right here.
White boy Rick.
Yep.
I mean, that guy's been in a cage for 30 some years. I don't know how he's going to be.
Outside.
You never know.
Oh wait, there's another fucking Exhibit A on Netflix. Have you seen this?
No, I've heard a lot about it though.
You saw it?
No, like I saw like on the tile.
Okay, I watched it. Oh, you saw that it existed? You know that Exhibit A exists
I saw it, yeah.
as an option.
As an option, yeah.
I watched it. The first one is about video and how unreliable it is.
Yeah.
Like video is always the answer in all these crimes and shit. And when it first started being everywhere, like they were just using it as gospel. But then in this particular guy's case, his name's George something. He's in Texas. He's in jail. I don't know if he got out of jail. They didn't show the ending, but he got fucked over. He's 6'4", and there was four armed robberies, and everybody in the grocery stores was like, this guy was like 5'8", but he looked like this guy who was a menace to the cops in the town. So the cops pinned it on this guy, and they even used video footage saying it was him. And in the video, he walks out of the convenience store. You know, they always have or out of the gas station, they always have like the height thing. And they had this specialist who wasn't really a specialist. He was just a local guy that basically stretched him from 5'8" to at least 6'1" because he was walking with his knees bent. And since he was a state witness, the jury was like, oh, this guy wouldn't lie to us. And bang, they used the video and the state witness to say he was at least 6'4", when all the eyewitnesses were like, no, this guy was 5'8". So this guy's been sitting in jail for like 20 years.
Yeah.
This guy's been sitting in jail for like 20 years, and now they reopened the case, and they never talked whether or not he got out.
Which is a case where we always talk about in here about the investigators like making the evidence fit their theory.
It's like
or
staircase.
their suspect. Yeah, that's all they're doing. I dealt with some in video. My buddy Pete was actually really far trained in that. I don't know if you call it an art because it's not a science, but
it is. There was an expert in there who's been doing it for 30 years.
And he went to the FBI schools for it. I went to a couple of schools to help him with some stuff, and there's a lot to it. I mean, like you got to recreate it with the same cameras. Like you would want to bring in someone people of different heights and have them retrace those steps and reshoot those people, from the same angle. Yeah, they never did that.
But they did because they're trying to reopen this case, almost like the Making a Murderer or whatever that is. They're reopening the case. This guy, good for him. He's been in jail for 20 years. They took a 3D image of him. The new technology. It was like this little thing. It was like it looked like a Simply Safe camera. And it's just like made a 3D image of him, put him in the video itself. And he's like towering over the guy. And they're like, this is obviously on him. So, but I still don't know if he's out of jail. I still don't know if this guy's out of jail. Wow. I think he's still in jail.
It's crazy to think if this stuff would never come out, those guys would just rot in jail forever.
Forever.
Oh, yeah.
That guy, 20 years, I mean.
Yeah. Life is already ruined because of it.
So much bad science has gone through law enforcement and it's locked up so many people.
Well, it's science in general. There's been a lot of bad science.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week, the food pyramid.
Right.
And I had some science teacher tell me how I was wrong about Pangea. Hey, tell me what's in that book, bro, that you're fucking reading. Because that's what we're here to talk about. Because those books have been spot on in the past. I think that's what we're all learning now. 2019 is the year of learning that the books that we read as kids, especially the science ones, 100% accurate.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we've been learning here.
Yeah.
That fucking science teacher. I hope you're listening right now. That guy. I actually responded. I shouldn't have responded to him. I appreciate that he's teaching the kids. It's not an easy job being a teacher. I respect it. You're not getting paid great.
Right.
You have to deal with other people's problems. You're supposed to teach these people whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's very hard. But I don't need your brainwashed ass coming in and telling me why I'm wrong. You're doing a part of the fucking brainwashing. You're part of the problem why we have what we have.
Right.
You're a reason why the food pyramid's been flipped completely upside down and eliminated an entire category. Because what you were teaching.
I feel like you should have to start off every class with, all right, this is what we know right now.
Allegedly.
This could change tomorrow.
It should just be.
Take it for whatever it's
We
worth.
should sell shirts that says science. Allegedly. It's crazy, man. It is. Like, what do you know? You know nothing anymore.
Well, they're also just teaching people who aren't smart enough to formulate their own opinion on the subject yet.
That's
you know?
the world we live in, though,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
When I was on Bob and Tom, I was very lucky to be on Bob and Tom for a lot of years. Tom Griswold came up to me after my second show, I think, and he said, "You're very lucky, Pat." And I said, "I know. I got a chance to be on the show. It's very nice." He was like, "No, fuck the show. You're able to formulate your own opinion, which is not something that is often in this world anymore, basically. Something along those lines,
point, yeah.
which is true. The more and more you learn, there isn't the ability to form your own opinion anymore. It's almost like, all right, these people are experts, so-called experts. Let me hear what they say, and then now that's my opinion. And then this person's expert, which is smart, by the way. You got to learn from somebody. You have to learn from somebody.
Sure.
But man, we're in the world now where you have to filter through so much shit. It's difficult. I don't know how my kids are going to do it.
But also, when you form your own opinion, there's going to be 27 different groups of people mad at you, too.
Oh, yeah. It's a gift and a curse. Yeah. It's a gift and a curse. That science teacher's not happy with what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like in that case, just because someone tells you something that the way things work doesn't mean you shouldn't question it either. Even if it's been proven right by hundreds of people, that doesn't mean you shouldn't question it.
That was the line, actually, from that video guy. He said that video camera is a witness. It should be examined and questioned as
yeah.
well. He said that's something that doesn't get thought about, is that video camera is just another witness. It should be questioned as well. And he showed a video of something, because all a video is, they broke this down like 4 different times about how it's just a bunch of still frames, right? A video is just a bunch of still frames. Depending on how many frames per minute it is, can tell you a whole different story. And they showed this video of this gun shooting 10 shots, and it only showed 2 shots. Because the still frames, it was an automatic.
yeah.
It was an automatic gun, and it shot 10 shots in reality. But the one particular camera, like one of the original cameras, only showed 2 shots.
Because of the frame rate.
Yeah, because the
quality,
frame rate
yeah.
wasn't fast enough to keep up with the gun. So they were like, so if somebody says, "Oh, there's 10 shots fired," and then you see the video and it's only 2 shots fired, you're like, "Well, this guy's lying then."
Right.
When really the frame just couldn't keep up with the gun. So
Yeah.
it was very intriguing to watch Exhibit A. I enjoyed it.
That
a
is
lot.
cool. And that now, I guess because they're realizing this too within the forensic world of law enforcement, like they will I've heard it referred to as a video interrogation instead of a video analysis. And they do that with cell phones. When I was in that game, you call it, like when you looked into cell phone records or the actual device itself, they would call it a cell phone or electronic device interrogation.
You did a lot of that. That was kind of your thing.
Yeah, because
Phone records.
there's no absolutes. Just you got to look at it from every angle possible. You can't just take your first look and say, "Oh, this is what happened."
Bro, I watched Dateline, and I got figured out as soon as I see that one surveillance video. It's that fucking guy right there.
Hey, by the way, in my science books, Pluto is a planet.
Yes,
Me too, bro.
Yes.
And I bet that teacher that was telling me about this plate tectonic shit. Hey, bub, how many years do you teach kids that their Pluto was a planet? Yeah, you liar.
Exactly.
Hey, yeah, I ain't lied to nobody.
Yeah, it went from pizza pies to pies.
What?
My very earnest mother just served us 9 pies.
Is that the member of the planets?
Yeah,
Really?
right. Is there 2 peas?
Roy G. Biv.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue,
Or no, we took-
indigo,
yeah.
violet.
We lost the pea. That's my bad. There's
It's a rainbow,
pies.
bro.
Yeah.
It's the wrong thing. It's in the sky. Roy G. Biv is also a guitar, right?
Really?
No. There's something on a guitar, too.
Nick?
I'm thinking of the strings. G, I can't remember off the top of my head.
There's
It's been so
something with
long.
the strings as well.
I remember there was Every Good Boy Does.
Yes,
Fine.
That's what it is. Every good boy does fine.
What does
That's
that
the
stand for?
guitar, right?
Every good, yeah. E, G, B, D, F. Every
No, because
good
there's no
boy.
F. Maybe depending on certain tuning.
Maybe not
but-
your ability, but me and Block Dad, we play the F string all the time. There's something every good boy does. That is something for
Thought it was
something.
fine,
though.
but yeah.
Maybe that was the recorder.
It could have been.
It could be.
It could be the
There
recorder.
was an F note.
Every good one is.
What was it? Did you just fucking get down? You just got down on
Yeah,
that.
you needed it for hot cross buns, you're right?
I saw somebody playing the recorder on TV and I lost it. I was like, somebody stuck with that fucker. Was that the most useless skill in the history?
That's the most
Yeah.
given up instrument of all time.
of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's for reading music. Those are the lines on a
No.
sheet of paper for music, like notes.
Of course. We knew that. We're big
E,
music.
G, B, D, F.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's math.
Please. P-E.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
pen down.
what you
Yes.
do with the multiply, divide.
Yeah. I'll
The
never
order.
forget that.
The order.
Oh, I never
the
learned
order of
that
what
one.
you do.
See,
I don't
that
know
was
what-
something new since from your generation. to mine.
Parentheses. What's E?
Equals.
Exponent. Or
Yeah,
no.
exponent.
Exponent. Yep.
Multiply, divide.
My dear.
Add, subtract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sally.
And, isn't it incredible how none of this matters?
I know.
It's incredible. None of it matters because I got a little fucking alien thing in my pocket. I got a little alien thing in my pocket that I just type in.
Thanks, Mr. Laser.
Go, excuse me. Like, look, we just looked in what we thought were recorder notes, and he typed into his machine, his robot over there, and they're like, "No, you fucking dumb human." That's how you read music, dude.
It's insane.
My kids, they're going to be little pricks. They're not going to be as well behaved as that one human on the plane. But my kids are just going to walk into that school and they're going to be little assholes. I know it. They're going to be terrible kids. They're going to be horrendous to deal with. That's why I'm going to send them to school early.
Smart.
So I don't have to deal with them.
Good idea.
Which is another reason why teachers should be paid more because they have to deal with a lot of people's problems. And granted, you get every holiday off and summers. You signed up for it too. You knew what you were going to get paid. But you do deserve more money for what you have to deal with. Just like police officers, military, everybody.
Yeah, but you're right. You signed up for that salary.
You knew what was coming. You knew what was coming. And you were considered a hero in high school when you said you were going to be a teacher. So those years of being praised while I was getting knocked down for saying I'm going to be a professional athlete all kind of come back to bite you in the ass when you're putting Facebook statuses up about getting paid more and shit. I get it. But you deserve it. You do deserve to be paid more. I completely agree. Especially now that I'm around children more often. I've never been around kids as much as I have been recently. And boy, teachers do not get paid enough. I would like that to be known. I don't know what it is. They deserve more. My kids are going to be terrible, though. They're going to walk into that class. I know it. If they have any little particle of my brain in their brain and somebody says something, just go, it doesn't fucking matter. I'll type it right into here and I'll get an answer from Mrs. Siri. Sorry. Since it's a sexist, Siri's only a woman, which I think they're changing, by the way.
They are.
I think you can make it whatever you want, right? On the Waze app, DJ Khaled's giving us directions.
Another one. That's my favorite.
Turn right ahead. Another one. That guy.
That's a tough line, though. I'm probably gonna get heat for this, but it's everybody deserves more money. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like
I want everybody to be rich.
yeah. I mean, like if you carry hod for a living, for a bricklayer, you deserve more money. That's a very hard job.
What if
You know
you're
what I mean? It's
roofing?
like, but everybody can't make more money.
Yeah.
If you're roofing,
Yeah.
how about construction workers? Nurses,
Yeah,
definitely.
military people. I mean, where does it end?
Everybody deserves more money.
At some point,
wish-
maybe you make what you're supposed to make.
I understand America's in debt. We're in pretty big debt. With who? I don't exactly know. I guess China.
Yeah,
we're in debt
Chinese.
with. We're in debt with China. What if we just went over there and went, we're even? What if we did that? What would happen? Is there anything that would, I guess a war
We'd
would
probably
happen?
go to war, yeah, immediately.
But they're never going to get that money back. They have to know that they're going to get trillions of dollars back. They have to know
All
that.
fake money.
So what do they do? Just hold it over our heads? Like what happens? I don't
Just wait for their economy to collapse at some point, and then they,
But
yeah,
really-
well, you don't have to pay us because we need it now. So.
Yeah, but
They
I don't think it'll ever collapse because they just lie. They only got like 14 people that matter in that country, and they all just lie about it. They're like, "Yeah, we're doing great, we're doing great, we're doing great," and that's all they got to say.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a real
if
economy.
If they owe us a favor, we owe them a favor. Then you knock off some debt, something like that. It happened.
Diplomacy digs.
It happened day after tomorrow. U.S. the U.S. had to flee south because it was getting too cold, and Mexico wanted their debt erased with the U.S. and it happened.
It is real though. Like, and we just started printing off money there for a while.
Yeah.
For a long time, just started printing off money.
It's easy to do.
There you go.
Press
It all,
the button.
It all ended up with El Chapo. All of it. It's still probably up in those mountains up there somewhere. How many American dollars do you think are up in El Chapo's mountains?
Man, we were just talking about that the other day. Zito, you know how he just pops up random questions every now and then? He's like, if you could ask El Chapo one question, I'd be like,
Pablo Escobar.
or Pablo Escobar, what question would you ask him? Be like, where's the rest of the money at?
It's
Because it's
buried.
going to be buried everywhere.
Has to be.
It's so much money, too. You know they lost track
Billions of
of
dollars
it.
buried in the earth.
What, they found one of Chapo's houses, and it had some insane amount of just
It was
guns.
like all on the walls and shit too, right? Like,
Yeah, and it had guns worth like I don't want to say hundreds of millions of dollars, but
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
it
you're
might
right.
be hundreds of millions of dollars.
Total for sure. 'cause
With-
they
with
were
the
all like
guns.
plated with like diamonds and shit like that.
He's just like one of those guys
They
that has
were.
too much money where instead of buying art, his art was these diamond plated guns. And it had Desert Eagle. Is that the most
Yeah.
expensive gun? He had like 40, he had a bunch of them, all gold plated Desert Eagle guns. It's like those things will never
good Instagram photos.
flexing hard. I think his son was. El Chapo's kid was a big time flexer on the internet. I think he's still doing it. Good for him. El Chapo just taking everything, by the way. Letting his kid live. Hey, you just flexing his Ferrari, bro. I'll go to jail. Is he ever going to get out of jail again? No.
No,
I don't think so. After he got extradited, I think.
Yeah.
he's done.
I'll make sure he
He'll
never
find his way out
escapes.
somehow.
There was a documentary about his arrest. I think I watched at one point.
Yeah, wasn't it 2 actors that was like the main reason they got him?
It was
like
a
a
journalist,
Sean Penn.
Well, Sean Penn, yeah.
Sean Penn, and that journalist, that female journalist that he was attracted to. He wanted to meet up with.
Oh, good move.
There are so many like documentaries and movies about Escobar and El Chapo on Netflix, and when you go through
So
them,
many.
I get so pissed because they're like 4 out of every 5 are Spanish. So I'm like, God damn it! And they go through and,
Yeah,
you know,
Netflix is really hitting that international
Yeah,
market, huh?
uh-huh.
I've heard, we talked about, I don't know if it's made the show or not, if we've cut it out, but we've talked about here ad nauseum.
There you go.
Ooh, good one.
Ooh, nice.
Well done.
Netflix is about to lose in America.
Yeah, I think so.
Netflix is about to lose in America, I guess, which is weird because only the Netflix originals will survive on Netflix, right?
Yep, pretty much.
Which Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
So
Banger.
That's why
That's
they're,
still
that's why they're
hundreds-
dumping money into the originals.
which they should, right? Because everybody's going to have their own subscription service. Every not human, maybe even humans at some point. I think everybody's going to end up having their own subscription service. And you said Time Warner's about to buy up everything.
Yeah, so it's going to be called HBO Max, and they're just, for one, their movie catalog is much bigger than anyone else's outside of like Disney. You know who?
What is it?
owns-
It's Time Warner, AT&T, HBO.
Yeah, and then they own, I think, a big chunk of like Viacom, which owns a bunch of channels, and so like every like series that's on like NBC,
Jersey Shore Bros owned by
yeah,
Viacom.
exactly, NBC, ABC, all that stuff. That's available on basically any on-demand, but those shows aren't going to be able to be on other streaming platforms anymore.
Those will go off on demand though, probably too, right? Those will probably all just live on their own.
I
I
would
think on
assume
demand will
so.
die.
I think so. I think on demand's going to be gone. DirecTV
Because cable's going to.
once every 4 years.
Yeah, Disney's got its own coming too.
Yeah.
So that's going to have every like Marvel property, every Star Wars feature,
Yep.
everything like that.
And that's probably where ESPN will head, right? With live
Probably.
stuff.
Yep.
ESPN Plus.
Do
is
they
gonna
own
prob-
NBC or ABC?
Who's that?
Disney?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
ABC, Fox, they own now.
Oh,
Yep.
God.
And they own ESPN.
How's
and
that
ESPN 2,
monopolizing?
ESPN Ocho, ESPN U, ESPN 20,
ESPN Classic.
ESPN the Ocho.
How are they not getting in trouble for this, like for monopolizing like TV essentially?
Because I'd assume Viacom also is in the game. So
Yeah, 'cause it's not a monopoly.
A monopoly is only when you're the only one in the biz. So
But
when
they're
you're
trying to essentially, right?
yeah, I think every company that's that big is trying to become a monopoly. They're trying to be. It is crazy.
I mean,
because-
AT&T and Time Warner went through a long lawsuit over that.
Yeah.
Over potentially becoming a monopoly.
because
Percentage of the market share.
it's crazy to me. Pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered, but these big companies they try to gobble up everything, which I guess is smart. I don't know.
And it's easier for something like that because it's just like finite pieces of content that they're buying. Like they're just buying a bunch of movies and a bunch of like rights to stuff. So like a lot of that stuff isn't even out there yet. It's just if they ever decide to make it, Disney owns the rights to it.
Facebook will send me a DM every once in a while. It would be an email actually, and I have my notifications off, so Zuckerberg slips through the cracks. About becoming a subscription, my Facebook page becoming a subscription page.
Oh,
And I never inquire about it, but I always find it interesting that Facebook is going to turn into a subscription service probably.
I didn't even know they were doing that.
Yeah, I got offered the opportunity to potentially become a subscription service.
Do you get to like set the price on it and everything? or-
I have not even inquired because if you click on that, I mean, the only thing that's going to show up in my timeline is just gonna, on Instagram and Facebook. It's just going to be like, do it. It's going to be like the Truman Show where they're like, the best place to be is home. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you got to really watch what you decide to click on those things now. Like, you really have to watch. Like, okay, do I want my timeline to be filled with this kid breaking his leg? Because it's going to happen. If I even think, I'll watch the video for like a half a second. I'm like, get the fuck off of there. I don't want that for the rest of the day. It's almost like I'm scrolling with paranoia. I'm like, if I stop and watch something, Zuckerberg knows, and he's just going to flood my timeline with it, and my life is not going to be able to exist without it. It's like you got to really prepare for what you stop and look at. You're like, okay, all right, I got NXT coming up in a couple weeks. All right, let me click on this NXT thing. All right, now I'll let Zuckerberg flood me with everything I need to know. Let me do my research there. Zuckerberg, thank you, buddy. Okay, what am I got next? Oh, I'm going to Hawaii. Let me click on this Hawaiian photo real quick. All right, now I got beach photos and history lessons about Hawaii. Through my shit. I'm like, Zuckerberg, you're like a fucking research guy for me. I appreciate your little tag team. But if you use that in a positive way, it's good. But I think there's people's lives are getting ruined where they're only seeing like-minded things just showing up on their timeline. That's it. Like if they like this, okay, this this guy likes this particular thing. Let's go ahead and just flood his life with only this thing. So this guy lives in just this bubble forever. And that's a scary thought how much they know about you.
It's incredible. Today I was trying to Amazon Prime Day. So everything
It got canceled, by the way, Sam, if you're listening. It's a shame that happened.
Everything that I clicked on in Amazon then showed up like in my Instagram feed.
Bro, I got a text from Sam this morning, and it wasn't a good morning. It wasn't anything. It was just happy Amazon Prime Day. And I knew that meant one thing for old Samson. This whole house is about to get fucking redone.
I've been dealing with it all day too. I got one there. Do we need an Alexa? And I'm like, I'm indifferent. I don't know. I can tell she's just scrolling through what's on special.
Oh,
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
Hold on. These-
I have one. I only use it for a timer. Alexa set timer. That's
Here's
the only thing I've ever
I don't
used.
like about Amazon is once you buy something and then you go to Amazon again, like 2 days later, it shows you all the same things that you just bought. It's like, no, I already have that. You know I bought it. Use your algorithm to reconfigure it and show me other things that would go with that would be cool.
Similar. Jeff Bezos needs to catch up, bro.
Yeah.
Show me similar items, all right? If you want me to go on a shopping spree on your app, give me a little similar things. Actually, I've never been on there, by the way.
Don't.
What?
Don't do
I'm
it.
not supposed to be on Amazon.
Don't do it.
No, you're not.
I am a window actual shopper, and everybody knows that's a problem. The truck I have was the truck that was lifted up on the platform that you're not supposed to buy. Give me that. Everything. I got a 3D TV because it was the one you walk into Best Buy and they say, this is the one we want you to buy. I'm like, yep, give me those fucking glasses. I'll take this one. Are you sure? Nobody else has bought it. Yep, even more so. Let me have that.
The Google geofencing for marketing is incredible.
As soon as you walk in a
so
store?
elaborate. Yeah, because I walked into Bob's furniture place.
You want to saw Bob?
Yeah,
I love
went in
Bob.
there,
That's Chicago Bob.
walked around for a while, but I had my Google account. I was logged into it, and so location services is working against me or whatever. And I leave, and then my feed's just fucking filled with
That's so
couches and
crazy.
beds. After that,
I got new locks for the house coming. Brand new locks, I guess we bought on Amazon
Oh,
today.
nice.
Oh, well,
there
you
you
need
go.
those.
Yep. Got a new pair of shoes coming, I
Yeah,
guess.
you're going to need those.
I'm sure we got a bunch of new appliances too. Can you buy those on Amazon?
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
Got a whole new fucking
You buy groceries
You name
on
it,
there
you can
now.
buy it.
Prime Day. Bezos just making another.
Just
couple-
bought a new set of steak knives. I got a Life Straw and try and keep up with Diggs and a Flint.
Hold on, Cutco?
No, they're not Cutco, but
Oh, I love Cutco.
You gotta get Cutco.
We're on a budget here.
I gotta get the Flint now. I feel like I'm behind.
What's the new grill?
Just get a lighter, bro.
Everybody's getting
Traeger grill.
the Traeger grill.
Yeah, it's been all in my fucking.
I got to
feed.
get one of those.
That's because Sean Latham.
They're like 5,000.
Is that the one he had in his video?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
because Sean Latham. That is why the Traeger Grill is showing up in all of our feeds because of Sean Latham.
Damn you, Sean.
What, an air fryer? Do you have an air fryer?
Yeah, I do.
Gotta
I love
have an
it.
air fryer.
Love it.
The fuck's an air fryer?
Oh, you'll love it.
Fries your food, but without oil.
Yeah,
It's healthy.
You use convection.
it's incredible.
Like I could put fried chicken in there?
It's like
or no?
vaping
yeah.
your food.
Yep.
Yep.
Really?
Oh, vitamins.
Yep.
I made wings in there. Delicious.
I dropped the vitamins thing on WWE.
Oh, did you?
I was on WWE Now during the day, and Shane McMahon's thing is he calls himself the best in the world, but he makes the ring announcers announce it, and he makes them hold "What" for a long time, and Mike Rome, who's one of the ring announcers, was hosting the show. And on my way out, I said, Mike Rome, let me tell you, you're the best in the "Whoa!" And I went for it for a long time. And then at the end, my voice just cut out. It just stopped working. I was like, too many vitamins. And I just walked off the camera. And I was like, oh, this is WWE program. You probably think vitamin B caused me to cut that out. No, it's TH in the C. The vitamins. It was a wild day.
How much money do you think Bezos' ex-wife gets off Prime Day? Or you think that money's all done for
Done.
him?
I think I think the money.
She got
No, did she keep a percentage? I wonder.
Probably. I don't know.
That would have been smart.
Yeah.
Would have been smart. I mean,
Because
if
the 40
Dan
billion
Marino.
wasn't enough.
if Vince, I know, with the fucking pet detective, you can get 30 grand or a percentage of the company. Well, this movie's gonna suck. Give me that 30 grand, bro. If they had Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, she would have got a percentage of the company
Yeah, you're right.
because they would have made him put her swords away.
Yep.
Right, you're right.
It's wedding season.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing, Zeke?
Doing good. You know, I feel healthy. I've only been eating one meal a day.
Really?
And I feel strong, yeah.
That's not healthy.
It is. Yeah, it is. Don't worry about Nick. Nick, this is, by the way, super negative Nick. You don't need Nick in
He's
your
usually
life.
on my side on this.
No, he's never on your side.
Never once been on your side.
I
I
don't
don't
think-
think I've ever been on your side.
What happened to you there?
I might be lack
Have
of
you
food.
lost? Have you lost any weight?
I think I have. I haven't weighed myself in.
I think I have.
I think I'm going to be against scales. I think they're lying.
Oh, okay. You think
You think
scales
they're
are kind of
lying.
rigged against you?
Yeah.
Just you or all people?
It might be big scale coming against me.
Because they don't want you to feel good.
Yeah.
They don't want you to have that
They want me to buy a
positive.
new one on Prime Day.
Yeah. Fucking Jeff Bezos is sending a signal to your scale saying, hey, get a new scale.
I do feel healthier, and these jeans I've been having a problem to fit in, I actually fit pretty comfy now.
Here we go.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I haven't tried the jacket yet. The jacket's like the last test.
Is that the jacket you're wearing to the wedding?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you wearing jeans to the wedding?
No, that was like one of my first levels.
What'd you eat for dinner last night?
Nothing.
What'd you have for
Maybe.
lunch?
Taco Bell.
What was yesterday?
Sunday.
Sunday?
Have you had the Burger King tacos yet?
Oh no, I want to so bad. Taco Bell released a new thing too. It's horrible timing. But yesterday, wings from what's it called?
Kilroy's.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like your Keto Zito.
Yeah.
Are
I've
you-
actually had wings almost every day.
And
Jalapeno breadstick.
So you're not
that
keto.
got out of me really quick though.
No, you're not keto. Right? I mean, keto, you literally cannot have a breadstick.
I told them to make it keto friendly. I
The
don't know what
breadstick?
Yeah, I don't know
The
what they did.
bread stick.
Yeah, I don't know what they did, but they said it was keto.
Did they?
Oh yeah.
I feel like either you were lying to me or people are just walking around aimlessly lying to you.
I think both.
Hashtag wedding season Zeet's still happening. Still taking applicants. They still show up on my timeline. There's a couple guys that I think you should take. There's a lady who wanted to go with
I
you.
know. She's part of the front runners for sure.
She said she's a great wing lady.
Oh, yeah.
Great wing lady.
I saw one guy had a campaign going. He was like, day 4, wedding season Z. Here we go.
I like that guy.
That's a good guy.
Foxy, you like him better than you?
I mean, he's way more committed than I am. 100%. One thing I love about Zeet's commitment, though, he actually has that jacket sitting right in the living room, so he has to walk by it every single day.
I like that.
I got to
But-
fit in that thing.
But you don't go home.
Good point.
You should put that thing up by the Twitch stream.
That's a good point. Right behind me at all times.
Twitch.tv/the Pat McAfee show.
Yep.
You played with Turtle the other day?
We stood him up.
You stood turtle up.
No, it was kind of a conflict issue, but yeah, basically. Make me sound better.
Did you
I
even
guess.
reach out to him? Be like, hey man, something else came up.
Conflict issue.
A fan of the show tweeted at me and Zeet and added him, and he liked the comment. So there's something there.
Is it him or is it his people?
Might be his son. I don't know.
He has a kid? Is it Mystic his kid?
Fuck you.
For those that don't know, Zito has a Twitch stream. He streams every night for about 7-8 hours. Every single night. He conned me into paying for him to basically have a game session with his friends every night, live from the office, which we have very good internet here. We
Top of the line.
we have very good everything here. He has a computer that he got. That's not from us. by the
Lights
way.
are on all night.
Lights are on all night. I mean, we're paying for this Twitch stream that has made money, has not been profitable. Okay, if we're gonna do a green, black, red situation, it's been very
black.
red.
Come on.
Still operating in the red.
The most red operation we've ever had here.
Can I throw something out here real quick? Steve Jobs worked in the red until like 2 years before he died.
So you have the iPhone. You have the iPod of the Twitch streams.
Yes.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Anyways, he conned me into doing this, and he does it every night. And his commitment is next level. He doesn't really care how good the entertainment level is. But he does play every single night. And I would say this. I've watched a couple of nights. He's been doing it for how long?
Oh, 13 months.
Over a year. I've watched a few times. It is very entertaining. The highlights are entertaining. But you're the most negative winner I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, it feels so good to win. You gotta rub it in their faces. It was actually funny. I had
He
one.
literally screams, fuck you, suck it, when he wins. Instead of like a yes or like a victory or I'm happy, it's the complete opposite. It's the most negative victory I've ever seen in my entire life.
I had a clip out there. Twitch actually banned it because I was too negative and toxic.
You've been banned from Twitch?
No, it was just like a video. They just like muted it because I was like too like.
You're getting shadow banned by Twitch?
I was
Is that
like-
why only 14 people are watching? You're shadow banned by. I didn't know we have like a strike against us.
I gotta stop calling people out by their names. I think that's like the thing. That's probably bad.
Yeah, I only know Mystic from a video, which is a 12-year-old kid.
It's pinned to my fucking Twitter.
Oh, it's pinned. That's your top tweet, telling a teenager to suck it.
Yeah, I don't think he's a teenager. To be honest with you.
That's just a video game.
You are a terrible human being. You should watch it though. I guess it's entertaining, and it could help Zito potentially carry this Twitch stream into the future.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of question marks on the future.
There's
of that Twitch
a
stream.
funny thing. After this, I have a phone call with a sponsorship for the Twitch stream.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
How are you going to fuck up that call?
I have really a lot. They want me to bring numbers.
We get anywhere from 14 to 100 million
No,
viewers.
you go live views. So live views, it's like 1,000.
Anywhere from 1,000 to 100 million. You know, that's the number that I was told. Me and Foxy were pitched 100 million.
Written on a whiteboard.
100 million is how many people are on Twitch. We need to get involved, says Zito. And here we are, 36 viewers later.
We need to kiss the ring. We got to find the ring to kiss.
I hope he gets a sponsorship.
Yeah,
though.
what's the
That's
sponsorship?
exciting.
Who is it?
I don't know if I should say it yet. If it
What?
happens.
What?
Yeah, say it, because
We'll
if they
bleep it
say
out.
no, well,
Patriot Viper.
What is that?
fake company.
Patriot?
Patriot Viper. They do headphones, computer equipment, and keyboards.
Oh, okay.
And I use the headphones right now, so that's why I reached out to them.
Oh, you reach out. They didn't reach out to you.
No.
Okay, so
But I said-
so we're already behind the ball in leverage in negotiation. Well, we're at a point of desperation here, which we are, by the way,
Yeah,
because
it's
you're
the Hail Mary.
operating in the red.
I will tell you right now, I live off the Hail Mary pass. No matter what game we're playing, anything, I live off the
Your
Hail
life, your life is a Hail Mary pass.
Mary. Exactly. It's still in the air, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully somebody will catch. How do we feel going in? Have you done your research on your numbers? What are you going to pitch to them? Have they sponsored other people? What is their normal sponsor? Is it just merch? Are they just going to give you another pair of headphones and expect something out of you? What are you going to do?
Usually these kind of deals, I think it's a code. So basically how many people can use the code, blah, 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 and then they give
See,
you...
but that puts you behind the eight ball because you tell people about a company, they might forget about your code and still sign up. So now you're getting fucked still by your advertising and they're getting a benefit from it. I've had a couple companies pitch that to me and I tell them to sit on it.
So I should tell them to sit on it.
I think you are at a point of desperation. You should take that.
I don't know. Conflict interest.
Issues, he said. Not conflict of interest. He said conflict issues.
CI.
Yeah, CI.
CI,
Bro. Yeah,
yeah.
CI.
See.
I think they're going to give you another pair of headphones and call it a day.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a keyboard. I really need a keyboard.
Let's get a keyboard out of him, man.
That's what I'm trying.
Patriot Viper?
Patriot Viper.
It's a fake name.
Yeah, that's a,
Did you look it up?
no, I didn't.
No.
Couldn't care less.
Yeah, I don't think anybody even moved to check. That's how little faith we have in that. We've done negotiations with companies a couple times now. And Phil, what does he title it as?
Immaterial.
Oh, yeah.
Immaterial possession.
Immaterial. Like we got to go through books with companies and you want to go through our books because every time we say the money that we make and we pay, a lot of people laugh, obviously. So Phil, our CFO, has to have all these things lined up. And every time we get to the point of the meeting where it's time for Phil to go through the numbers, I can't wait for him to get to one particular section and it's the immaterial. And they always go, oh, excuse me. Their CFO is trying to out CFO Phil. And they're always like, numbers look good here. What's the immaterial? And Phil always gets very excited. He's like, oh, that's our Twitch stream. Guy's name is Jose. It's cost us a lot of money, but we think in the back end we could potentially make money off it. I always go, let's stop right there. That one's never going to make us any money. But it does generate just a tiny bit of revenue once every like 6 months. And that's what we're looking for.
And some joy.
And some joy.
Yeah.
Hey, that's priceless there, that Twitch stream.
Couple good laughs.
Put a price tag on it.
Can't. Zito doesn't even go home anymore because he just stays here.
Nope.
Foxy didn't see you one time the entire weekend.
Nope.
See him here.
Thought you went to Chicago.
I actually did.
I said, Foxy, where's Zito? He was like, I think he went home to Chicago.
We literally had dinner, Fox.
That is not true. I saw you Sunday at 2:00 and it was not at the pub.
Oh, that was lunch. I apologize.
Yeah.
Oh, lies. Never would have
It was my dinner.
That's great. Speaking of dinner, a man that ate a lot of food in a very short time. And he's been crowned the greatest eater of all time. Stopped by Heartland Radio last week, but the interview caused quite a scene. TMZ actually, I think. I mean, we potentially caused a pop culture riff here. Mm-hmm. And just know that Kobayashi's not happy with this conversation you're about to hear.